Welcome to episode 165 of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. Everyone's here.
Yay.
Oh, I didn't turn my phone on silent.
James, can't have nice things.
You're the one that texted.
I didn't know it was going to go off.
God, again. Anyways, hey everybody out there in internet land, because it's not really TV land. Internet
So
land.
does anybody else, right before James hits the go button, does anybody else like have a moment like, oh my God, what if I burp in the microphone or sneeze? Like nobody have a moment like every week I'm like, oh God.
No, y'all just both make noise and then I have to sit here.
I think at this point I'd do it on purpose.
Pretty much.
It's funny.
Pretty much.
Anyways.
Let's get sponsors out of the way, Katie.
Of course.
But you got talking to the microphone, Rachel.
But I gotta also have to be ready. And I wasn't ready. And you didn't ask me if I was ready. You just said go. Okay. But you know what?
Okay, calm down to the mic. You don't have to yell at the microphone.
If you're looking for a high quality PVC rack, look no further than Lone Star Reptile Racks. They offer a variety of sizes for all types of snakes, geckos, rats, and more. You can even order something custom. Shipping is available, or you can plan to pick up at a Herps Reptile show near you. Visit lsreptileracks.com to reach out to Lone Star Reptile Racks and place your order today.
Yeah. Our new sponsor that we had on last week, I got the blurb for that one, so I'll go ahead and read that. Lil's Shop of Horrors is a small feeder and pet supply business based out of San Antonio, and they regularly schedule feeder meetups around San Antonio as well as other neighboring towns and cities. They offer shipping on their feeder insects, isopods, and are working on starting shipping on their feeder rodents too. All feeders are raised on nutritional diet that optimizes the health of the reptiles and amphibians that consume them.
I think I do a better job at reading things than you do.
I think if I had read the whole thing before, I just read it now, I may have it may have been smoother.
It's okay. I'm gonna do it better. Don't worry, Lewis. I got you next week.
I got a radio voice. I can do my radio voice. Welcome.
Cover the Herp shows. Come on.
I kind of can't. I'll put. You know what? I'm gonna put them across the bottom of our screen.
Is the website not?
Because the website is still down because it's they're transitioning the Herps website from one server to another server.
That's right. I remember that now.
So coming this weekend,
I have the calendar on my phone.
That's true. Coming this weekend, May 6th and 7th, we are here in Pearland, Texas. Excited about the home show. I took Friday off so I can go hang out and watch everybody work. And apparently,
go with we have a doctor's appointment.
Apparently help Robert load stuff.
It's going to be later now. I can't cut PVC till tomorrow.
Oh.
So it's going to be like Friday afternoon.
Oh, cool.
Ish.
Oh, good.
We can help because we'll be done at my doctor's by then.
So you got Pearland.
And then Lake Charles.
Oh, look at that. You got up there.
June 3rd and 4th. Conroe, Texas, June 10th and 11th. Happy birthday, Katie. Shreveport, Louisiana, June 24th, 25th. And Slidell, Louisiana, July 22nd and 23rd. As far as I have on the screen.
There should be an Oklahoma City show in there too, I thought.
I think it's after that.
Oh. I don't have it on my calendar because I don't do it.
At some point they'll be in Oklahoma, but why go to Oklahoma? Come to Texas and go to the show here.
Oh my god.
Or Louisiana.
So interested in seeing the Shreveport show.
Yeah, me too.
What did you do this weekend? You did something interesting this weekend. It wasn't a reptile show.
It was the Polk County Pagan Festival.
Freaking devil worshippers.
Yeah,
that sounds so fun.
It's a lot of fun, except there were protesters at the gate. Which
Fuck yeah, I would have loved that.
No.
So they were there last time, and last time, last time they had a big PA system set up, so they were louder than the music in the festival, and they're like 100 yards away, telling everybody they're pedophiles and that we're all going to hell and our children are going to die.
No.
Blah 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 blah. So
I would have loved every minute of that.
The guy that runs it went to the city because he pays quite a bit of money. It's a city park.
Right.
Well, he had mentioned something about it, and I was like, "Hey, I looked up the ordinance for the city of Livingston, and I said, hey, they have an ordinance that you can't have a sound amplification device like that without a permit." So he went to the city, and sure enough, the city was like, "Yeah, they're 100% correct. They have to have a permit." So they weren't supposed to have anything this time. Sure enough, they had a big bullhorn on a tripod, and they were yelling all the same shit. And the cops came out and were like, sorry, we're not going to do anything about it. After the city manager told him and the police chief told him, you call, if they're out there with sound amplification, you call and we'll handle it.
That is unacceptable.
Next time, invite me.
I'm not done yet.
I'll handle it.
I'm not done yet. Oh no, it gets better. So it was from noon to 7. It was from noon to 7. At about 4 o'clock, we're like, dude, where's everybody at? This thing is normally packed. I'm talking to the guy that runs it, and he's like, I don't know. And I kind of look across, and I see this guy in a bright like high vis yellow shirt, and he's like waving cars They fucking were turning cars around at the gate, telling them the event was closed.
Oh wow.
We conservatively think they probably turned about 100 cars around, telling them the event was closed.
Oh man.
So he went up there, tried to talk to them civilly and be like, hey, look, guys, we get it. It's your American right to protest. We support that 100%. Just like we support your right to your religion. This is our religion, you know, because like the Satanic Temple of Houston was out there. They were ready to go over there and fight. They were like, we can make a phone call right now and get like 300 people here. And we're like, no, because then we'll never be able to have this event again. And it's a really good event. It's a family event. People bring their kids. I mean, it was awesome. So the guy who runs it tried to go up there and talk to him. And they like attacked him, like surrounded him. We're trying to fight him. These are Christians.
That's fine. Once they throw the first blow,
right,
you can legally fight back.
So then he like realizes that one of the women is like over with her phone in his car, taking video or pictures of all his paperwork that has like all of our information that's sitting on the seat right there. And so he like went over and like kind of pushed her hand away. Then the shit just exploded. So he got in the car and drove back because they weren't allowed to come past the gate. If they came past the gate, they were trespassing. They were going to get arrested, allegedly. So yeah, it was horrible. They're horrible people. And out there, you know, calling
hey, Christians can't be horrible people.
Oh, they're fucking they sure tried.
They can.
So you know, one of them owns a big pool company and he's got like the signs all in his thing, and that's what the guy who runs it, he was like, man, if this would be like if I came and blocked your business, like blocked the entrance to your business.
Oh my God.
And all they kept saying is we don't abide by man's laws. We live by God's laws, and God's telling us we have to shut you down. Even if we all have to go to jail, it's worth it if we shut you down.
If you have to go to jail, then you abide by man's laws, asshole.
Yeah. That's
how that works.
It was ridiculous. So he went to the city yesterday and basically told him I want half my money back for what I paid for this because your officers didn't do their job. And next time he's going to hire some off-duty officers to be up there at the gate. And
smart.
And probably really should have done that before,
or just fucking find you some Hell's Angels that'll just come do it.
Right.
And,
so I mean, I guarantee you all those people are armed, all those super right-wing religious zealots.
They're Christians, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told that they're right.
Well, I'll tell you this, they weren't,
or that I'm wrong, at least.
They weren't the only ones out there with guns. So they didn't want to do that shit.
Oh man. So anyways, you were out there, back to the reptile part. You had some big tortoises and a Burmese python. You were doing pictures and tortoise feedings, and that was super popular, right?
Yeah, it was very popular. It was a lot of fun
because everybody knows Satan and snakes go hand in hand. So that's
I was waiting for him to see us with the snake because you know that they because it's a free event. You just drive up, park.
Oh, they send people in there for sure.
I guarantee they have people walking around. I'm sure. I need to go to their YouTube channel and look because that's where.
But now they've been tainted with Satan worshiping, so
yeah,
they're gonna be kicked out.
Yeah, so.
God's not going to let him into his imaginary town.
It was a fun event. It just needed, because we went to the one in February, I think. It's right by my in-laws' house. So we went to the one, I think, in February just to see what it was about.
Jesus Christ, Katie.
I'm so sorry.
Before I decided to vend it. I mean, it's only $40 to vend it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
And there was...
Callie Grant said she'll come man the gates for him.
There was like 4,000 or 5,000 people there last time. I mean, it was packed.
Yeah.
And this time, that's what we're like halfway through the day. And it was, now, mind you, it was cold and windy on Saturday. Sunday, the weather was absolutely perfect. But yeah, it was some bullshit, man.
That's crazy.
But they had their desired effect. They cost a bunch of vendors money, and they got some vendors who were like, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to come back because I can't.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
I win in the end when everybody finds out it's all fake. Anyways, the rest of our sponsors. If you want to get you a VivTech UVB LED bulb, make sure you use code Gumbo22. We got 2 of them up there on our chameleon cage. I got to get another one for our skink spec here, and another one for something. I'm sure I need more. I can always use more VivTech bulbs, but reach out to them. Also, they're smart devices. You get that. I need to do that. I need to get one of they have a little central hub, and then you can do like 50 sensors off of that central hub.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we'll get into a reason why I need those sensors in a little bit. I have something that needs humidity, but so
let's bring our guest in.
Hold on, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Calm down.
He looks so sad and lonely.
He's fine. He's good. I promise. You ready to bring him in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring in our guest, and then we
didn't get to talk to him the last time he was on.
That's true. Well, his better half is not here this time.
No, okay.
So I pull I guess this is the wrong screen. There we go. Eric Yaw of Colossal Constrictors. We had you on last time. And we had a pizza party, and Katie wasn't up
I
here.
missed it.
You slept through the whole pizza party.
That's right.
Oh, I was supposed to do Girl Scouts that
You were
night,
sick,
and
you
I had
slept
that
through everything.
stomach bug. That was brutal.
Yeah.
I didn't eat any of the pizza.
None.
That was awful.
I got it all.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast, so I couldn't tell you. I'm
I
sure I
remember
did.
that.
You did. You took home pizza.
Yeah.
I remember because it was less pizza for me. Yeah, I remember those days. But how's it going, Eric?
It's good. How about you guys?
It's good-ish. I got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
We have 17 wake ups until summer break because we both took Friday off.
What's a summer break?
Yeah.
Well, it's what happens when you have to deal with teenagers all day, and you're not allowed to hit them.
Or 8-year-olds.
You're still not allowed to hit them, or taser them, or hit them with a cattle prod. Which I'm telling you, a cattle prod would fix so many issues.
A lot of problems.
Yeah, nice 3-foot handle on the cattle prod, so you don't get too close.
You don't even have to zap them. Just
the
buzz
noise?
it. Just buzz it in the
Yeah.
corner.
Well, you just got to zap one, really, in front of everybody else.
Oh, my stars.
And they'll jump in line. Anyways, so we have you on. I want to go ahead and do our giveaway, our April giveaway, which was sponsored by you guys. We're giving away a Herbstat thermostat, which is awesome. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
So all anybody had to do was go over to our Facebook, tell us your favorite episode we've done now out of 165 episodes, share it on your Facebook or Instagram, wherever, and then go give Colossal Constrictors a like on Instagram or Facebook. And you're put into the giveaway. So I've got it here. Let me go ahead and pull it up on my screen, and I will hit the random number generator.
Do, 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 do.
Is that a random?
That's your sound.
That's a random number generator sound.
Yep.
Since when?
I don't know.
That's not a very good. I need a refund on that one. I think it's more like doodle doodle doodle. You should hit the button. It's doodle
Is that
doodle
it?
doodle.
Okay. You don't have a fancy button on your.
I should have pre-programmed a
You
sound.
should have.
I really got to do
Epic
that.
failure.
I don't even
man.
remember what some of these sounds do. Let's try one. Oh, wait, they're not turned up. Oh, that's a perfect one.
There you go.
Let's see what else is on here. There we go.
All right.
There's an applause. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Who's our winner
Thank
with
you.
your
Oh,
applause?
sorry. That's okay.
Come on, man.
Doodle- whoop, wait for it. Doodle-doodle-doo. It is Chris Burns. Chris Burns. I will contact Chris Burns after the show. Let me highlight him on my little thing here so I know that he's the one that won. And then I'll get his information and I'll get it over to Eric, and he can, well, we know that he's not going to ship it out. Randy will ship it out. And
Yep.
and get this.
Throw him under that bus, man.
He knows he's not doing it. Just like if I had to send something out, I'm not doing it. I'm going to have you do it.
This is true. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, see? So why would I do it if you're going to do it?
Fair point.
Oh, so I had an eventful last few days, and we'll get into stuff with Eric in a second, but I wanted to go over some of the stuff that happened recently because I talked a lot of shit about a certain species on this show, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Ball pythons suck. But I went to go change water in my ball python tubs. I do own 4 ball pythons, and I've mentioned it before. I haven't hidden it. It's a problem. I do want to get rid of 2 of them so they can have less. But I opened the tub, and the female was coiled up in a little ball, and inside that ball were 5 big-ass ball python eggs. So I guess now I'm a ball python breeder.
And we have a 12-year-old who is pumped about these eggs.
I'm sure whatever I hatch out of them will be the next big morph. I'll give it some stupid goofy ass name, charge $2,000 for it. Tell everybody it's a one of a kind, because that's what I've learned from all the ball python people on YouTube and online. That's all you gotta do. So now I'm a ball python breeder, but I have 5 eggs. They are.
But technically you are a breeder because they bred, so you're not.
Yeah, that's how that works.
But the babies haven't hatched yet.
I'm still a breeder. I didn't say I was a ball python hatcher. So I'm a ball python breeder.
Okay.
And I was very surprised because I had never seen them do anything. She didn't act different. I had them housed together for forever. He was still in there when the eggs were laid. But it's a banana pied male to an inchy female. So it's going to be boring ass snakes that are banana. Some are banana, and then some will be inchy, and some will be normals. Or with my luck, it'll be 5 normals
Our daughter is so excited.
that are all het pied. I'm just holding out the hope that the female is het pied and I don't know it. There's always that chance.
There's always that chance. Kind of like when you think of boas het.
Fuck, we'll get into that too. Yeah, we'll get into that. So that happened.
It turns out it's het anery.
So that happened Saturday. I got those. I texted a picture to our buddy.
That was the first panicked phone call.
So, well, I texted a picture to John Grant and Robert, and I said, "What the fuck do I do with these?"
No, you said, "What temperature do I incubate these bastards at?"
The best response was,
I quote that. That's a direct quote.
The best response was, I also sent it to Corey Martin, and she goes, "Wait a minute, you breed boas? Do you even have an incubator?" Which I do. I've only kind of
nice
used it
incubator
once.
Also.
And they're currently in the incubator.
Yeah, I get a freaked out phone call telling me I got to go to Lowe's.
Yeah,
And I'm
I felt
like,
kind of
what
bad.
is happening? Why do I need to go to Lowe's? And he's like, we got ball python eggs. I'm like, excuse me?
I sent her to Lowe's.
Slow down some.
I sent her to Lowe's for some Paralite to put in the bottom of the thing, and then
I just use Reptile chip now.
Yeah, he had it all here already.
I apparently already
got
had a
all
complete
the
setup
way
in the
to Lowe's
incubator with the Perlite and the grid and
Why do
everything.
you go to Home Depot? It's way closer.
because they were out. They only
Yeah.
get 8 bags of it at a time,
Right.
and they had already sold out
So
because I stopped
I
them
had-
first.
I had a whole setup. I don't know when I set it up or what. I must have set it up for ball pythons, but I never had eggs, so I don't know. It was already in the incubator.
Walmart has it too, by the way, in the garden center.
It showed that they were out.
Oh,
Yeah. So
of course, it's that time of year when people are buying it for what it's
for
actually
plants.
for.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's fucking weirdos. So that was Saturday. And then yesterday on Monday, I come home to go check on the eggs because they're in the incubator in my closet in my snake room. So I walk into my snake room and I look into one of my snake cages and one of my big boa cages, and I see a big infertile ovum and a pile of slime. And my first thought was, oh shit, she had a big pile of slugs. And then I realized all those slugs were alive and moving, and they weren't slugs. And then my snake that I paired back in October, I paired her in October. Now, the male stayed there for a while, but they were paired in October, and they quit doing shit for a long time. Had babies now in May. So she had 15 babies. The pairing was supposed to be, well, it was a snow. Definitely a snow. That one's easy to figure out because she's white and yellow.
Yeah, she's a snow.
She's a snow. The male is a hypo jungle, possible het call albino. I can now pretty much with certainty say that he is not het call albino.
No, there's no pretty much with certainty. It's 100%. He's
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not what. Look, I could have the worst luck on earth and somehow got 15
mean,
babies. That
your female's a visual.
yeah, I know. But as I was going through the babies, it's like, man, some of these babies are really gray. And like with red tail babies, that it takes a few days for some of the color to come in some of them, but like you can usually tell like there's a hint of red there, but there wasn't. And so I sent some pictures to people, even the original, the guy that I got the mail from, and we're pretty sure that he's het anery. Had
Which
no
is
idea.
funny because the breeder did not even know.
He had no clue
that was a possibility.
he had no idea. Now he knows that one of the parents doesn't know which one right now, but one of the parents are het anery, and this male is now het anery. And I now have what do I have? I have in there. I have ghost, so anery hypos. I have some jungle ghost in there. I have some aneries. I have some hypos. I have some normals, and everything is obviously now 100% het call albino. That's for sure.
Yep.
And then so I also had one that with a kinked neck, but he is one of the most active ones. He's great. So someone's gonna get a pet.
Assuming he eats well.
Yeah, assuming he eats well, someone's gonna get a pet. But yeah, so that was my days. I had ball pythons and boa constrictors, and I did not expect either one of them. Like I had already moved. That one was in the closet. Like the one we've talked about them before. They were in the closet for
quarantine.
and they were just kept there forever because that's where the cages fit.
Yeah, we just moved him.
I just moved them like
upstairs.
2 weeks ago, and apparently didn't fuck up anything, unless I moved her wrong and kinked his neck.
We
I don't
are,
know.
however, going to have a serious conversation about the tone of voice that you use when you are panicking and you call your wife because that's 2 times in 2 days.
Well, I had texted you a picture and you didn't answer.
I was in the copy room. I was at school working.
It's not my fault.
And I answer the phone and he's like, check your messages. I'm like, whoa, slow down.
Maybe you should check your messages. As every husband out there can attest to, maybe you should check your phone every now and then. I think it's kind of, so it's funny. I don't understand it. You look at any woman, they're on their phone nonstop, just doing Pinterest or watching stupid videos on Facebook or Instagram.
Text. This is not
No,
acceptable.
it's all women. But somehow they never have it when you call them or text them. I don't
Like
understand.
We know. It's like we know you need us and you really don't need us.
That's not true. I had baby snakes. That's the most important time in our
you
house.
gave my mom a minor heart attack because she said, all of a sudden I hear, what the fuck coming from the snake room? And I didn't know what was going on the other side of that wall.
I was very thrown off. I was very thrown off by baby snakes in my snake room.
She was funny yesterday telling me about it.
And so, and the mom was not very happy. It was very interesting. I got there apparently after it was all done, and she now looks like an empty sock. But it was interesting to watch the mom. She went around with her head nudging and poking all the babies and moving them around. And when I went in with the hook to move her out, she took like her neck and slammed the hook against the side of the cage away from the babies to try and keep me away from the babies. It did not work, but she was not having it. But yeah, so now I have baby snakes. So anyways, that was my excitement over the past few days. And I got to figure out where I'm going to house 15 baby boas and then eventually, hopefully 5 ball pythons. Fucking ball pythons.
Good time.
I'm a ball python breeder.
You know those things come in 3s though.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably gonna be a random Samboa. I'm just gonna walk in one day and there's gonna be some more Samboa babies, just random ass Samboa babies, because that shit happens.
That's so funny.
Because I'll put males with them, and the males won't do shit, and I'll take them out, and then they apparently did something, and I missed it all because they don't do it for me. They don't put on a show for me or nothing.
They don't, man.
Assholes. But no, yeah. So me and Justin Kabilka are the same now. We both breed ball pythons. What are y'all laughing at? I don't understand the humor here.
I almost wore that shirt tonight, and then I was like, I'll just put this one on instead. That's
he and
cute.
I are the same.
That's cute.
I breed ball pythons. He breeds ball pythons.
Yeah, he does.
No, you breed ball python.
Well, there were 2 in there. It takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you bred a pair of ball pythons.
I didn't breed shit. They apparently did it on their own without me even noticing.
Yeah. When did you pair them?
They've been living together for like months and months and months. And not once have I opened that tub and seen them doing shit.
Our buddy Jason Miloradovich said it's weird how you seem more excited about these ball python eggs than a little bit, than these boas that were born.
So the irony on the boas
James hates gray snakes.
is that I hate anery. Hate
Yeah.
anery boas. I fucking hate anery boas because
they're my favorite ones.
Because they look ugly to me when they get older, and it gets rid of my favorite part about boas. And that's why when she had the babies, I'm looking in there, I'm like, fuck me.
I was like, ooh, that one's pretty. And he's like, it's an anery. I was like, ooh, that one's pretty.
I will
it's
tell you that
an anery.
When he sent the picture of those eggs, I gave him an hour to post them. Because if he didn't post them in an hour, I was fucking posting them and saying, welcome to being a ball python breeder, James
man.
Lewis.
The
Now you can retire from your job.
I know. I'm quitting.
Thing our daughter said, she's like, do you think he'll let me keep one? I'm like, he'll keep at least one.
No, because they're all going
to
be 5 fucking normals.
And she hit a level of squealing that I'm pretty sure only the dogs could hear.
The male's
she
a banana,
was so
right?
excited.
Yeah.
There'll be at least
I
one
should at least get a
banana
banana.
there. Yeah.
So
you'll get a banana inchy.
I'm hoping for a banana inchy het pod.
Well, they're all going to be het pods.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Unlike my male.
unless that inchy's a het pod.
I was going to ask, do we know if she's a het pod?
So no one knows what's a het pod anymore.
Oh,
it's like albino and corn
Don't
snakes.
we know somebody that does ball python stuff where we could send him sheds?
We could actually send a shed and find out.
We should totally
do that. I have a shed.
I'll add it to my
But do you
list.
know which one's her shed if they've been together for a while?
Well, he's a banana, so
Oh yeah, you can see the spots and the color.
This is much lighter than hers. So anywho, you have any fun going over there, Eric? Any babies that just surprised you? You walked in, you're like, oh shit, there's a pile of goo now.
No surprise babies. I'm just happy that you talked shit about aneries last time and then you end up with aneries this time.
I love them.
There couldn't be any other hidden gene in there, and
them.
it's fucking anery.
You give me a black and white snake any day of the week, and it's gorgeous to me. And he's like, "You're so boring."
So it's funny.
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever bred snakes, when you're expecting them, I wouldn't expect them. When you're expecting snakes, like a month or 2 or 3 weeks before they're born, you start to have these weird ass baby dreams, like what will come out.
Mhm.
And you're like, I'm gonna have the first this. Like I've had dreams where
like, no, that's just you, man.
That's because y'all don't breed snakes over there. Y'all just own snakes.
Tell me about it.
I'm breeding more ball pythons this year than y'all are.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm just feeding them, motherfuckers.
But I've had dreams like with rainbow boas. Like you'll wake up and go, oh no, I don't have a green rainbow boa. That was completely in my head. So there's always this thought of having something weird pop out. And this fucking time it's Anery's. That's not even.
Well, the ghost is kind of cool.
It's still Anery. It's not. I mean,
I don't know what to tell you.
Still gonna be a gray
awesome.
snake.
I love them. I was excited.
Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be keeping a ghost because the one thing it does for me is if I have a male ghost in there, it gets me like 2 years away from making.
Females.
Shut the fuck up. It gets me 2 years away from making a moon glow, and I want to do it. I can't wait. I want to make a moon glow so bad. I remember the first time I saw one, and I want to make one. And so that's the one benefit, but it's also going to make a bunch of Anery shit too. So
I think that's cool.
you would. But
I like it, man. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. The one thing I do have, so this is the male that bred this. I've talked about it on here before. There was a breeder that I bought a female jungle hypo poshet albino from, and then when I got it, that female had hemi beans. And so that female was a male, and so I messaged them back, and they were apologetic, and they gave me some money back. And then I told them, look, I said I don't want to get rid of the snake. It's beautiful. I kept it, so I kept them. And then a year later, they reached back out to me, and they were like, "Hey, we just had another litter. Here are the females from that litter. Which one do you want?" And they gave me a good deal on that one. And so I do have a year younger sister of his that I can still hold out hope that she's het albino. So there's still that. I just have got to raise her up. So, anyways, that's my breeding prowess for the week. I apparently bred a whole bunch of shit that I didn't want to breed.
So apparently it's just rainbow boa people, because Jason Miller-Adovich said that he had a dream that he had a blue rainbow boa.
No, breeders have dreams of weird ass shit, and then they wake up and they're disappointed when they realize it's not a world's first. It's not something that's gonna. No, it's, and then they get a whole litter of fucking Anery boas that they got to somehow sell. Goddamn Anery boas. Anyways, what do you have pairing up this year? What do you have?
So we have a Sunglow Motley to a Hypo Arabesque head call that should have in about 28 days. Ooh,
that's all stuff I like.
Yeah.
Sold.
And then we've got a Hypo Key West het call to a Motley het snow. See what that one's going with.
Hypo Key West. So albinos, they'll be het Anery. Key West does the pattern, right? It gives you more of a.
They give you more of a pattern, and they have like a really faded, that mustache that the boas get. They get a really faded version of it.
Is the Key West one that gives you kind of that circular pattern down the back? They kind of brings the saddles together on the sides.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, with the hypo added, it takes it away. But
yeah, that's why hypo motleys are always a weird one to look at, because I don't know, hypo motleys don't do it for me. I like motley, but I like sunglow motleys. I think sunglow motleys are.
You like the bright pinks and stuff, though.
Yeah, but like hypo motleys almost look washed out, because the hypo separates the pattern that is really cool in a motley, and then it mutes the black that shows up in a motley, and it just kind of washes it out some. Darren Watson said your dog is going to lay eggs and they're going to be boas. Fuck, that'll make me millions of dollars, Darren. That's don't tease me. I'll take that.
Oh my goodness.
But anyways, so boas. I love boas. They're so much easier to take care of. I didn't have to set them up in an incubator. You know, and we talked about this before.
We didn't even have time to stress about them because we didn't know they were.
That is true. That's kind of like when our kid was born.
Mm-hmm.
The first trimester, we had no idea you were pregnant, so we only had to deal with 6 months of pregnancy instead of 9 months.
Yep, we sure did. And then she was 17 days early on top of that. Like we went in for my first appointment, and the doctor's like, "Oh, so how far along do you think you are?" And like, by the calendar, I'm 15 weeks. She's like, "There's no way." Sure enough, they did an ultrasound and measured me, and they're like, "Okay, you can come back next week and find out what the sex of the baby is because you're 15 weeks along." I'm like, "I told you guys, but you didn't listen to me."
So yeah, apparently surprise pregnancies is a thing for me around here.
Yep.
I need no other surprise.
No others. No. I will not be the third on that list.
Fuck that. Put that up for sale at a show. Oh, one's enough.
You got to put it on Etsy. We made it.
You can sell babies on Etsy? Is there a category?
No, you cannot.
Are you sure? Have you looked?
I have not.
So I put it in a crocheted sweater. Can I sell it on Etsy?
Oh, God.
Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. So you've got a bunch of call stuff. What other, you have any non-call stuff? Because y'all also do VPI.
Not this year. We tried for some Anery Ghost to IMG stuff, but it didn't work out. And yeah, everything else struck out so far this year. But we have VPI stuff next year.
Robert just got an IMG in his house.
Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty snake.
It'll be prettier in like a year and a half.
I don't know what that is.
That's the one that turns black.
Increased melanin gene.
So they look like shit for the first year.
IMG.
Boa, yeah. They look like a really dirty boa for the first year and a half, 2 years. And then in the good ones, the black comes in and they turn almost solid black.
I like
Yeah, you would. Fucking would. It works better if you mix it with like Motley, because that's going to make it darker and get you closer to being solid black. But IMG to me is the best when mixed with Sunglow, because it turns that thing just like bright orange.
Yep.
Look up.
Yeah, we picked up one this year, actually.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, we picked up a Sunglow IMG Jungle male. So we'll try that in 2 years. Yeah.
That's an awesome combo.
Yeah, there's a couple of those popping in these pictures.
You should look for Sunglow IMG. It's so all that melanin that shows up on there. Obviously, an albino doesn't have melanin, but it changes the way that pattern comes in and turns them just like orange.
That's cool.
What are you looking up over there?
I'm designing a T-shirt for Zoology Club.
Okay.
You asked.
I did ask. I apologize.
I'm looking at fonts, and he was like, "What is going on over here?"
So I want to get into a couple of the questions that we posted this week from Eric, and then we can get into some other stuff. But one of them got an insane amount of replies.
I was about to say your questions have been blowing up my phone lately.
I'll go over the one with the fewer replies first, but it was pretty good.
That's awesome.
It said, would you prefer to be a vendor or a customer at a reptile show, and why? I know Robert's answer. Does not want to be a vendor at a reptile show.
Certain shows.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's become such an ingrained part of my life for the last 3.5 years that I'm not sure that I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have something to do just about every weekend.
Yeah.
I would like to do things that I enjoy doing more often.
Like hunting?
Like hunting,
Herping,
fishing, and like
sleeping.
Yeah. Sleeping's cool.
Sleep's overrated.
But I remember back when I used to be a customer, and I just kind of always felt like I was hustling through and just, I don't know. I prefer being a vendor now. I mean, I have 36 shows on the schedule for this year. So
I like being a customer that has been a vendor, that knows all the vendors, but doesn't have to sit behind a table.
Yeah, that's 100%. So
that's a fun.
I used to enjoy it more when I used to make money at shows.
Yeah, that would make it better.
I haven't had a profitable show in 2023. Not one.
So we're still holding out hope.
Yep. Just hoping,
I saw gas prices go down a little bit.
Unfortunately, my break even has gone up.
Damn price of plastic.
Because of the price of everything.
Yeah, it's not just plastic.
It's not just plastic. I mean, just to run on my shop went up $200 a month this year, so that's $200 more that I have to absorb.
See, I think
so. Yeah,
I think customers want to be vendors because they don't know what vendors go. Like, I think it's a level of vendor. Like, do you want to be a vendor like me, who I now have 1 litter of boas that I'm gonna have to sell in 2 months, and I can sell them over the next year and a half if I need to? Or do you want to be a vendor like yourself, where you need to go to a show and make money so that you can eat tomorrow?
I would much rather be not have to rely on shows to make my living.
Yes.
It would make shows a lot more enjoyable, because I enjoy, the setup at the show, the camaraderie with the other vendors. What I don't enjoy is sitting there all day watching people walk by.
Yeah.
And people not buying things, or buying nothing but a bunch of little knickknacks and cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Which I've started selling because you have to survive.
I know.
It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You have to adapt and overcome. I don't even know if I want to really say this publicly, but I could see the rack and cage business going away by the end of this year for me.
Really?
And morphing into something different that you guys know about that I'm not ready to roll out yet.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see that morphing into something else, because it has gotten very, very, very hard to make a living building PVC cages and racks because everything involved with them. Right now we're seeing another PVC shortage.
Really? That sucks.
Because of that train wreck in Ohio.
Yeah.
Then like late February, early March, it was like 15% of the country's supply of vinyl chloride.
Yikes.
That burned up that they burned up. So when we were starting to see PVC prices come down a little bit, my suppliers told me then, they were like, probably 1st of May, we're going to have a shortage because that's about how the cycle works for the production of PVC. So whenever there's a shortage in vinyl chloride, what there is goes to make pipe because that's an essential item.
That makes sense.
PVC sheets for signage in the reptile industry are not an essential item.
Yeah.
So the government actually steps in and takes it all and make sure that there's plenty of piping for the country. So right now, like I've got like one vendor I'm able to get 7 sheets from, and the other one I'm able to get like 8 from, and the price went way back up again.
Well, it really sucks when people start selling cheap ass cages that are cheap, but
right.
But again, the general public, the customer, not the vendor, the customer is having to decide things by money, and they don't always know.
Right.
Look, if a vendor is selling it, it must be good,
right? When they can go buy the same cage that I sell for $400, no,
same size.
They can buy the same size. It is definitely not the same quality of cage for $250.
Yeah,
they buy the 250 one, and then they end up spending the $425 later when the 250 one falls apart.
Yes,
which I've had happen at least 6 times now in the last 6 months, where somebody calls, they're like, "Man, I bought one of those cheap ass cages at a show, and
at a show that cage looks good."
Well, they're not allowed to touch it, so I'm just waiting for the day that a cobra breaks out or something breaks out of one of those and fucks somebody up.
I couldn't imagine because the cages we're talking about are, I'm not gonna say who it is, but they're like what 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's almost like sign material.
Yeah.
Not even like what you're used to as a PVC cage.
Yeah.
And like a berm or a big boa just would, when they push, it's going to be busted apart.
The guy had a video, one of them, because he was going to send it into the manufacturer, or they're not the ones
who the seller.
But literally, he was videoing his boa, big female boa, and she got in the corner and just flexed, and boom, the side just popped out.
Oh, snap.
Broke it.
Yeah.
Now imagine something like if you were trying to do a larger, like a retic or a berm, or
I watched a customer destroy one at a show recently, trying to put it in a car.
Oh,
like just tried to bend it a little bit, like tried to bend one of the side panels to fit it in the car. Broke. I was like, holy shit.
Damn.
It is what it is.
So let's get back to the question. So would you prefer to be a vendor or a customer? And I'll get to Eric's response in a second because I want to know what yours. But let's go through some of ours. Our friend Brittany over at Reptile Culture said, customer. I enjoy walking at my own pace and seeing all the vendors excited about what they are doing and ready to share the passion with all the people. But I also love being a vendor and looking around and seeing all my friends' faces doing what they love and knowing that I know exactly how they feel. Our buddy Drew at the Learning Zoo said he would rather be a vendor. Typically, he ends up spending the same amount of time either way. So at least he can offset some of the cost by selling. Our friend Danielle said both. Jack, again, I know how to pronounce his name now. Jack says, I like to be a customer because I can see all the show and talk to all the vendors I know. Paul says vendor, but that's really cheating. Paul's been a vendor once. Paul got his cherry popped in Austin at the Herp show, and that was his first show vending. So with all of his,
he sold a few snakes
with his ball pythons.
Yep.
Don't be hating on this ball python.
I'm better than him.
I think he made more money than I did that weekend. So
I'm better than Paul. I've got 5 eggs in there, and I'm going to sell all of them and make millions.
God.
I think right now too, I'm a little bit, I don't want to say
jaded.
salty. Yeah. Well, I just had the worst show I've had all year, and it's normally my best show. So that really
maybe a bad show. We still have the Lafayette or the Lake Charles one. I'm looking forward to see how that show goes because we haven't been to Lake Charles in a while.
Well, and Pearland this weekend. I'm the only one there with what I have.
And you're home.
And I'm home. I don't have hotel costs and all that shit. So that helps. I can eat at home, which,
Paul's got a clutch cooking. Yeah, so do I, Paul, and mine's gonna be worth millions.
Oh my God.
Based off of what I see online.
Millions of half pennies, maybe.
Based on what I see offline, like you said, I'm quitting my job. I need to go ahead and get a couple.
I
need to go ahead and get a couple of V70 10 tub racks from you. I'm gonna go buy some collections now, and I'm a ball python breeder. That's my retirement plan.
God help us all.
I was ever serious about that, someone just please shoot me now.
At that point, you have been traded by like pod people or something.
Our friend Seth over at Huff's Herbs got himself a really nice little facility.
Yeah,
Did you
well,
see
I
that?
saw some pictures of that.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll get to that one.
All right.
Let me get to the questions. Todd Sanders says being a visitor is always great because you can relax and enjoy looking at all the amazing stuff at the shows. He doesn't have the experience as a vendor yet, but that will change shortly. Good luck with that, Todd. And then Robin Williamson said both. Dang it. So, what is?
It's on YouTube. I don't have that one pulled up.
Is that a real person or is it a
No.
bot? You try and pronounce that name. Bao Nakfan.
That might actually be a person,
That's-
James.
I'm trying to pronounce it. If they can give me a way to pronounce it, that'd be great.
Apparently, there's a sulcata tortoise out in our area.
I saw that.
It's in the.
That's got to be Bao, right?
Mhm.
And Fan.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Come on.
moving on.
I just
Okay.
want to know how to pronounce their
You
name.
wouldn't let us talk about Huff, so
Jesus.
We'll get to Huff. I promise. We're gonna get to Huff. Eric, what do you prefer,
Yeah.
vendor or customer?
We actually haven't vended yet. We do lots of
Good.
shows and like go as customers, but no vending yet. I'm helping a friend at Anaheim in July.
Oh man,
as
just gonna
far as
jump
a vendor.
into
I was gonna say you are jumping
Yeah,
into the deep
jumping
end.
right in. Yeah. With the species I'm trying to learn, so yeah, it should be fun.
what is it? Don't say ball pythons.
Blood pythons. Blood
Oh,
pythons.
I'm gonna piss off blood pythons. Big fat ball pythons. Angry ball pythons.
That
Mhm.
pee like 17 gallons at a time.
God, they do pee a shit ton.
what's that?
Blood.
pythons.
Oh yeah.
They hold it for
Hey,
forever.
They just caught that guy. They killed those 5 people up in Cleveland, Texas this weekend.
Did they?
They just caught him like 5 minutes ago.
My dad's
God.
watching.
Was that the one that shot his neighbors?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yep, they just caught him in
that's crazy.
right up by there, cut and shoot. Yep.
Let's see. What did Paul say? I know some people doing this for a year that are pros. Yeah, I'm sure there's some people that have been doing
Oh,
it
yeah.
for 3 months that are pros.
Oh yeah.
Jason said vending is exhausting. Vending is exhausting. Especially like depending like because you got to be on all day. It's tricky.
Yep.
You get very tired by the end.
I used to be exhausted by the end of the day on Saturday,
Certain shows I still am.
but I've gotten. Once it gets hot again, I will be again because unloading's it's hot and
Yeah.
Wears you out, and I spend all week getting ready for the show and driving and
The weekends that I have to parent other people's kids
yeah,
is a lot worse than the weekends where I'm just working the register.
right,
And there are shows that are worse for that than others.
yeah. Some of
Um,
the bigger shows.
Eric, are you ready to get bit a
What?
lot?
Do
Yeah.
bloods bite a lot?
Okay, so blood
Yeah,
python
they-
people will tell you they won't. They tell you they won't. They tell you they're great and they're calm and they're
Eric
wonderful.
didn't hesitate to say yes.
But
We're talking about-
I've held
Mm.
several and they all wanted to bite me.
Yeah.
maybe it's just you.
Yeah, I helped
James.
them out at Pomona in July or in January, and helped the same people out, and just told everybody, yeah, you can't touch them. They're not in the mood to be touched.
It's kind of how I was with my rainbow boas. I was like, you can hold it, but it's gonna bite you. Like,
Mhm.
Just be prepared for that. And then every
Yep.
now and then I'd have one asshole rainbow was like, nope, and it would just sit in their hand and not bite them. I'm like, fucker, the moment I get you home and put you back in the tub,
Yep.
you were gonna try and bite me. So I just those are when they do that, I'm like, ooh, maybe I can sell it. It's not biting them, they're gonna love it, and then they can get home and hate it. I'm not that person. Calm down, people. I'm not just trying to sell stuff.
We'll attack you later. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I like vending. I do like vending. I just don't have a ton of stuff. So like it sucks when if you only do small, if it's not a living, I don't have 50 babies at a time. So I don't always have stuff to fill a table. So when I get down to like 3 sand boas, it's hard to go, let me go ahead and get a table to sell these 3 sand boas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the cost of what you're
Yeah.
selling doesn't cover the cost of your weekend.
So
Yeah.
now it's just, hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Throw my display on your table and not stay at the table all day.
Oh, I learned from your wife.
It actually, yeah, no shit.
I sold better
It
when I went.
actually worked out when I sold all your snakes for you.
I sold way more sand boas not being at the table than
Yeah.
being at the table.
I talked more about Sambos that weekend, I think.
That did work out really well for me. I sold
Yeah.
several.
Sure did.
Jason said the show I did last weekend was 9 to 6
That's a long show.
on Saturday, 10 to 5 on Sunday, plus setup and breakdown and the
Oh.
drive. He was worn
I know
out
I know
yeah.
what show that was.
from talking so much. Yeah, you also, so not everybody does this because some people just aren't good at selling. You got to learn to smile and nod at stupid shit and internalize calling them a dumb fucker. Like you can't say it out
Yeah.
loud. You can think it all day long, but think it with a smile on your face, and then feel free to make fun of them with your friends later. Because
We
you
normally
will.
have a group chat going if I'm working the register and it's not crazy busy, and I'll like text outfits for people to watch for. I'm like, watch for this outfit.
That is one thing that's
watch
fun.
for this outfit.
As a vendor, I'll tell you one thing. People watching is the best part being a vendor, because there are some really
Unique characters.
unique's nice. That's a nice way to say it. That walk through a
That's
reptile
why I
show.
put it in there.
There are, and there are some that those ones that will just talk to anybody, and unfortunately, it's always going to be you. It's always going to be you, and you just want them to walk away.
So the fact that I was originally very upset when you said that just now, like saying I was the one who's going to talk to everybody, I wanted to throat punch you in this moment.
I was not talking about you.
I know, but
now
felt
I
like
am.
you
Fuck it. Now I'm
were,
saying you.
because that is me. I'll talk to everybody.
Like Jason Millerovich, and get ready to answer. How big do these get? 20 times an hour. So the show where Robert sold a bunch of my Samboas, I brought an adult male Samboa and an adult female Samboa, and I think that helped a lot. Because I was like,
Helped
how
a
big
whole
does it
lot.
get? This big.
Because the next show you didn't.
I didn't.
And
Yeah.
those two adults stopped people.
Yes.
People would, I can't tell you how many people would stop.
Yeah.
And then when I would tell them, well, these are the parents of those, and that was automatic. That was like a hook.
Well, and so there's a positive and negative to doing that. I think that it does help in a lot of situations. If you can bring an adult of whatever species it is you're selling, it does help a lot because it gives you they turn into this. But it's also a double-sided thing because you're also exposing your animal to possibly getting
Anything
sick
else
or anything
at
else
the
that's
show.
there. And so there is that. But like our buddy Russell always has adult corns, and you can go, oh, that's what it's going to look like.
Yep.
Our friend the Reddies always have Chandler, their big male panther chameleon, so they can see what that looks like. And so it really does help in certain situations, especially in some of the ones where it's something a little less common, like Samboas, because people see boa and they go, those get huge. I'm like, no, this is it. This is how big they get.
Including Louisiana Fish and Game.
Yeah, those boa constrictors. Oh, but so that was a good one. I enjoyed that question about vendors because I like both. Came to Austin, it was nice. We were strictly customers at Austin, and so that was nice for us. But I also do enjoy vending. It is fun. It's definitely more fun when you sell shit, though. I mean, it's a lot more fun when you sell stuff. Like on Saturday, and you can go buy dinner at the vendor dinner, and you can just take out a wad of cash and pay for it. That's an amazing. Although who has a wad of cash? I'm not lying. If you can take out your Cash App card and pay for it, because that's how everybody pays now. It's
Your Square card.
your Square card or whatever, because no one has cash anymore, which helps. It's been great. If you're gonna vend, make sure you have every
Single way.
every possible way of paying. If you have Cash App, Apple Pay, what am I missing in there? Venmo, Zelle.
Yeah, Zelle's gotten real popular.
Be
lately.
careful with PayPal.
Don't use PayPal.
Don't use PayPal.
Isn't Venmo attached to that though?
Yeah, but it's a different rule.
It's like Sam's and Walmart.
Gotcha.
It's they're owned by the same company, but they're run completely separately.
Gotcha.
They have separate board of directors, separate CEOs.
I knew you would know the answer to that.
Yeah, because PayPal took $5,200 from me in 2021. So fuck PayPal.
Yeah, don't use PayPal, but have all the other ones. And go ahead when you do it. Go ahead and get like your card. You can get all those like Cash App and all. You can get a free card, a free debit card. Go ahead and get that so that you have a debit card on you. Like if you go to dinner that night after a show,
Yep.
You just use your debit card. You don't have to wait to transfer things to a bank account and do this and move money around. Just things that no one tells you. So I'll run into a couple things if you're a vendor. Paper towels. Bring paper towels. People always think tape. Bring tape of all sorts. Pick a tape and then buy another kind of tape. Bring duct tape, Gorilla tape, Scotch tape, all the tapes. All the tapes. You're going to use them at some point. So anyways, that's a whole another show on how to be a proper vendor. But next question was, what reptile show do you want to attend or enjoy attending the most? And so
what? So sorry, going back to the payment methods, Reddy's Rainforest said they're going to start offering Afterpay now. So as someone who uses Afterpay, it's amazing.
Yep.
So go ahead and explain what it is.
So Afterpay is one of those like pay in 4 methods. That's actually one of the things I like. I don't use PayPal. I use it for personal reasons, not for animal related reasons. But like James needed 2 new tires for his truck. And a lot of times if you buy all 4, they'll give you a better deal. And I used the pay in 4 method for that.
I got this laptop that way.
I did that. I just paid off the windshield of my car. I had to get a brand new windshield.
When it's usually most of them are interest free, right? So
they are, and it's just every 2 weeks they take the payment, and since we get paid,
they charge you a flat rate, but it's like nothing.
Yeah.
It's like $5 or $6.
It's not enough to really, but yeah, Afterpay is definitely, especially if you get paid bi-weekly through your regular job, then something like that, Affirm is another one.
Right.
That's a good one, but yeah, those have been really helpful with a lot of,
especially if
larger purchases.
Well, yeah, if you have higher end animals, things that are $400, $500, $600, $700 or more, that's an easier way to make a sell on somebody who can't afford a $2,000 payment right now, but they can afford $400 or $500 payments over the next 2 months.
Because it's either me asking you, hey, hopefully in 2 months you're going to still have it, and in 2 months I'll have the money saved, or I can use a program like that and then go ahead and get it now. If I know I have that extra money in my budget, our buddy John Grant's used Afterpay before through his business.
Well, so with Square, you can accept Afterpay in person.
Gotcha.
They can tap their phone on your terminal and accept Afterpay.
Can they do it on your phone? Can you tap phone to phone?
I don't think so. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And I think it has you have to have a base amount. Like it has to be a minimum of a certain amount.
Yeah, it can't be like $20.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I've seen John use it as a good, like somebody's like, oh, I can't quite afford it. And he's like, well, look, you can break it into 4 payments and it's like $25 every 2 weeks for this $100 snake or whatever. And boop, they do it. The great thing about this, I think it costs the seller an extra 1%.
When you're guaranteed that money too,
but you get it right then.
Right.
Yeah. And if Afterpay doesn't collect from you, they don't come take it back from the vendor.
Yeah.
So that's
how
that's the deal with them, that they take on that risk for that 1%.
That's how you've gotten some of your
Lego
retired
Lego
sets.
Yeah. Anyways, back to we got sidetracked somehow. We never do that. That's weird.
Not at all.
But you know what? I've had a couple people that I've talked to lately that are like, I love the fact that you guys get completely off topic and talk about
you know why?
Yeah.
How do we get off topic if we never actually have a topic? That's the confusing.
The reason why I know
Eric's happy that he's not having a talk right now.
I mean,
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
I think it's because it makes people realize, like, a lot of times when you listen to someone on a radio or you listen to someone on a podcast, they almost seem like, yes, they're human, but they don't seem
I promise
personable.
We're human. I can see all the traffic lights in a
like
picture.
Regular people. And the fact that we get off on so many tangents, I think that's what makes us seem like normal people. The fact that I used my name in normal
I am normal people.
Sentence is beautiful.
I can point out all of the bicycles in the 9 pictures.
I hate those things.
I'm not a robot. So anyways, back to your question about
I had to do one of those 3 times the other day because I kept missing little squares.
Okay, moving on. What reptile shows do you want to attend or enjoy attending? Ashley Howdy said NARBC Arlington, since it's close and the most epic party at the big show. I haven't been to the after party, although we were invited to the party this year. But we need to go to Arlington.
We need to go back. Yeah.
Eric,
we had a good time.
Eric and Randy are planning on going in. And I don't know if I haven't told y'all we're planning on going with them.
When is this?
Yep.
Whenever Arlington is.
When is it again?
We're all going to get a house.
Yep.
Okay.
All of us are going to get a house with them.
Oh.
For Arlington.
When? September? Or like
whenever they tell me they're going, we'll figure.
Where do they live again? I don't remember.
They're in Oklahoma, right?
Phoenix.
No, they're
Just kidding.
Arizona.
Arizona.
He said, fuck you in Oklahoma.
Not in fucking Oklahoma.
My bad.
If you're going to come to Texas, you have to learn how to badmouth Oklahoma.
So I thought John Grant was talking about somebody else earlier.
John Grant doesn't live in Oklahoma anymore.
Being near them in Oklahoma, though.
His TV is officially hung at his new house.
I have no idea. I have no idea what
Kabilka
conversation.
live?
Who?
Todd Autry lives up there.
Kabilka lives in Georgia.
Oh, never mind then.
I have no idea who you're talking
I
about.
don't either. It was in the. Never mind.
I don't think she does either.
She has no clue.
You both suck.
That's never been a conversation anyone had.
Oh, that's
you know how we had those
Scroll back up in those comments right now, and you will see a post from John Grant that talks about he is from OK by Me.
But you don't know who we were talking about.
But I don't know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Who was it, John?
I assumed we were talking about Eric being near him.
That was like 17 conversations ago.
Look, not my fault.
I'm supposed to fucking know who John Grant doesn't know who he was talking about then. Anyways, Danielle also said NARBC Arlington is always fun, but I'd like to do Daytona or Tinley, and then the ham show in Germany.
I wouldn't mind going back to Daytona just because it's been so long.
Yeah, however long we've been married. That's how long it's been. Fucking forever. That's what it is. Fucking forever is how long it's been.
And you love every minute of it.
That's what I tell you. So Daytona.
If your spouse tells you they love every minute of marriage,
they're lying.
they're fucking lying to you.
So bad.
I love my every minute of my being with my wife, but
no, I don't.
But you don't love every minute being with his wife?
No, I love every minute of being with his wife. I don't necessarily.
Well,
love
the way
every
you said
minute
that's
of being
going to
with
really
my
come
spouse.
across weird. I'm just saying.
People already think things about us.
Whatever.
That is true.
Let's keep thinking.
Daytona. I can't say how Daytona is now because it has been a century
It's
since
been
we've
like
been
14 years since we've been.
A century. In married years, that's 14 is much longer. Tinley is fun. That's a great one. Also hanging out there at the bar next to it at Bananas and all that. That's a fun one. So those would be good ones. The ham show, I would be interested to go to a European show in general, just so they can tell me how horrible I am as an American taking care of animals.
Where you walk in and basically every animal's in an enclosure.
Yeah, because you legally can't keep them in deli cups. Look, I'm not saying that we do our shit better. I'm just saying I do my shit the way I want to. Fuck off.
Because I'm American.
I'm American. Fuck you, America.
Come within 3 great blue whales of Americans say that. Y'all ever seen that one, Katie?
No.
So it's one of those
where Americans won't use the metric
system. And it's like a meme. It says like such and such is that's the equivalent of 3 blue whales. And somebody commented, Americans will literally use any unit of measurement but the metric system. And then the next comment is like, come within 3 blue whales of America and say that to our face.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I have it on my phone somewhere.
By the way, and to any of our international listeners, I'm not making fun of you, just you. Everyone else, I promise it's not you. Keep listening.
Yeah,
it's not you. Feel
free to make fun back to us. We don't care.
I said friggin'. Our friend Megan said enjoy attending Herps. Really want to make it to NARBC Tinley one of these days. That's a good one. Brandon Millicent, he's a fucking Canadian. The Calgary Reptile Expo hosted by the Alberta Reptile and Amphibian Society. So I guess you go there and you get snakes and like maple syrup and a moose. They hand you a moose at the door. It's fucking Canada. Do they even have real reptiles? The only thing they have up there I know is they have Fiji banded iguanas. Yeah. Fucking Canadians.
I have a friend who's in Costa Maya today. She posted a picture and she's like one of the experts in the snake ID groups and shit. She's like, what the fuck is this dinosaur? And it was one of those black banded iguanas.
Oh yeah. But when I said fucking Canadians, to any of our listeners from Canada, I'm not talking about you, just all the other Canadians. Keep listening. Thank you.
Danielle says that Danielle Cruz, she says Germany is fabulous in general. And yes, Germany, haven't been in 25 years, but Germany is a fabulous country.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not 1941 and you're Jewish. But yeah, other than that, it's a great country.
Yeah. We could say the same thing here.
That's true. As long as not everybody else.
Right.
Currently.
Good Lord.
But the 4 of us are having a great time in America. Just saying.
Yep. Speak for yourself.
Brandon,
shitty ass day.
So Brandon also said all the proceeds are go towards conservation and community endeavors. He said he might be biased as the president, and because you're a fucking Canadian. Again, not the other Canadians. Y'all are all great. You and your maple syrup covered mooses. John Feely says he loves Arlington. He most want to attend Tinley. Got to make it happen. Again, people just got to drive to Tinley. It's a drive. Because everybody down here, it's all our friends that are in Texas. It's a fucking drive.
It was a drive when we lived in Louisiana.
Half the drive is getting out of Texas.
That is true.
Kind of like driving to Tulsa.
That is true.
It's like
fucking Tulsa.
6 hours out of Texas and 3 hours to get to Tulsa.
And then as soon as you get
it's literally all the way across Oklahoma.
And as soon as you get to Oklahoma, weed. You want weed? It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Get into Oklahoma. Everywhere.
Oh my God.
You haven't been to Colorado.
No, I have not.
So when you get past Amarillo, you start seeing weed attorney signs. See if you get busted coming back from Colorado, call this number. And then in New Mexico, there's nothing because you're going through national parks. But then when you cross into Colorado, both sides of the highway, it's like 15 dispensaries. Like each side of the road, every old rundown gas station is a dispensary now.
Have you seen the lawyer sign coming out of Austin where it looks like Rob Zombie as a lawyer?
Yeah, that dude's been around forever.
He looks like Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
But he'll be your lawyer.
He's supposedly a damn good attorney too.
He better be looking like that. Nathan Holcomb said, I want to attend some of the herp shows out there by y'all. I wouldn't mind meeting the host of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. One of us is great. So Darren Watson
I'm so glad that you've acknowledged how wonderful I am. That's so kind of you.
Yeah, remember how I always say the truth. Darren Watson said, Tinley Park has always been at the top of my list, but from listening to the Reptile Gumbo podcast, I believe I would enjoy herp shows more. It's different. It's definitely different. So we're smaller.
Yeah.
But because we're smaller, we know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which can be a little frightening if you're coming in for the first time, because we kind of already have a bond.
That is true.
And we'll bring you into that bond.
But it's a weird group to get
but
into.
We're gonna scare you in the process. Like, it's just gonna happen.
Imagine you're gonna hear a lot of jokes about penises. So
yeah, especially if Andy's around.
Yeah, be okay with penises. I mean, not like
Not seeing them.
not coming at you.
This like reminds
But
me
yeah.
of one time when I was a patrol sergeant, I had this we had this rookie starting, and
y'all showed his penis.
yes, no, that's how you start.
All right, Ricky, suck away.
So I hear like at like 5:30 in the morning, I hear this in the lobby. My name's, I'm not gonna say his name because he's like the captain of that department now. I'm supposed to start today, so I open the door. I'm like, who are you and what do you want? And he's like, I'm supposed to start. That way told me you were coming, and I fucking slammed the door.
Oh my god!
And I'm just looking at him standing on camera. He's in the lobby, like, I don't know. I just opened the door. Dude, I'm just fucking with you. Come on. Every time I see him now, he brings that up. He's like, dude, I almost just walked out. He's like, I didn't know. I thought maybe I was wrong.
And then they whipped out the penises.
Yeah. Well, you have to, see who's in charge.
so Darren Watson said he wants to come down to herp shows to visit.
Come on.
Bring it on, Darren. Crystal Ryle said would love to attend Ham, which again is the one in Germany. Herps Conroe, which if you're gonna go to one, Herps Conroe is good, and Herps Slidell. Those are the two that I would, for your first herp show, are good. The rest of them, they're good, but those are the two bigger ones.
Yeah.
Old Jack from the Netherlands said I would say I'm gonna mispronounce Houghton. Houten. Houghton.
Houghton.
You just feel like he's Houghton.
Yeah. No, that would be H-O-O.
Netherlands. Oh, the Houghton show.
James.
But the thing about when you read
gonna go.
He's fixing to start the giggle, and then he's not gonna be able to keep going.
Gonna go to the Houghton show in the Netherlands.
Laugh too much.
You know what you can have there?
No,
you could have a Houghton at the Houghton show.
Nathan says he would go to Slidell because it's only 7 hours
Houghton
away. Well, it's 7 hours for me too, bud. So
we'll meet you in the middle.
We'll meet you in the middle.
I think I've done that show 13 times now.
But you've never done the Houghton show.
No, I've not done the Houghton show. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do the little.
Here goes James. We're losing him. We're losing him.
Again, to all of our listeners in the Netherlands, I'm not making fun of you. It's just all the other ones. I promise. Robin Williamson said NARBC Tinley. She also said the Houghton show and Ham.
Robin said the Houghton show?
She said the Houghton show. Huh. See? Houghton.
All right, we're going to look it up.
Robin
from R&R?
Yeah.
You know what? Because I bet there's a bunch of Tegus there.
Tegu stuff, yep. Yeah. Jason Morrow said...
No, it is pronounced Houghton.
Not in this house.
As long as you don't start saying pecan, we'll be just fine.
Go eat some pecans at the Houghton show.
Portable toilet.
Yes. Jason Morrow said, I'll be attending Tinley this October. This will be my first one. But
who said that?
Jason Morrow.
Oh.
But I'm actually more excited about the Gecko Symposium. That is one good thing about the Tinley show.
Cool.
There's usually like the Gecko. There's a Gecko Symposium on like Friday night, I believe. So that's a good one. Southern Feathers Aviary said Thibodeau's Exotic Pet Expo. That just doesn't sound right. Someone who's
Thibodeau sounds like somebody who's going to be cooking your exotic.
I'm going to say you may not want to go there. That's in Thibodaux, Louisiana. There's a reptile show, an exotic pet expo. So it's got birds and shit too. Yeah. July 8th and 9th in Thibodaux.
I'll be at camp. I
make fun of pronouncing Houghton, but then you look at Thibodaux and you're like, no, they would totally not get that one. In old Thibodaux, Louisiana. There's a
Is he from Natchitoches?
Natchitoches. Oh God, where was I going with this?
Did we get high before we came up here and I don't remember it?
What is?
I took a nap before the show.
Is weed legal in Arizona?
I wanted to throat punch people today.
Yeah, fucking lucky bastard.
Yeah. The problem is not is it legal in a state? Is it legal and also still have your job?
Right. Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter because
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
my boss is an asshole, but
He's a dick.
yeah, just ask him.
Paul Byfield said Herps is the only one he really attends. Last weekend was his first attempt. Told you they popped his cherry. He said other vendors were very helpful from loaning me scotch tapes. See, I told you all the tapes, Paul. All the tapes. Scotch tape to secure my tubs during the day and offering recommendations on improving my setup. I didn't expect anything different from being a buyer to being a seller. Herps all the way. Again, it's a very close group. You come in there and you're not a dick. I mean, you can still be a dick, but you got to be the right kind of dick. But they'll be accepting. Kelly Miller said, any of the Venom shows that I can get to. Otherwise, Tinley is on my list. Chris Burns says he wants to go to Arlington. Let's see. Paul Taylor said Daytona. There's another one for Arlington in here. NARBC, Tinley, Daytona. Todd Sanders says Herps is the best show, hands down. Yeah, Todd. I would say that the Conroe show is usually one of the best shows. We will be vending our very first show next weekend. Fingers crossed for that. And then Charlie McKee said Herps. What show do you want to go to, Eric? And then what is your favorite one you do go to?
I want to go to Tinley. I think Tinley is cool, and I think Arlington would be cool. And there aren't that many good ones in Arizona. There's one in Mesa that's pretty good. So I would say the Pomona show is probably my favorite one to go to.
Is it Arizona or New Mexico? It's New Mexico where you can't own shit, right? Isn't that they don't have shows and reptiles? It's not Arizona.
Yeah, I think it's New Mexico.
Yeah, so I think there would be more shows. But I guess the problem in Arizona is that there's Phoenix and then there's Phoenix.
That's about it.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's desert.
Yeah.
There's
Arizona is one of those states that has the sign "No gas for 200 miles" when you're driving to San Diego, where I went to college, and it's like
that's about it.
Nothing but fucking desert and heat and dust whirly thingies.
Dust whirly thingies.
I can't remember what they're called.
Dirt devils, aren't they?
Dirt devils, yeah, dust devils.
Dust
Yeah.
devils.
Sorry, go ahead, man. I know you were about to say something. I straight up.
No, you're good. Yeah, the only other decent show that I know of in Arizona is in Tucson.
Yeah. Tucson does exist. I forgot, but Arizona is also one of those ones. We don't believe in your time. We have our own time.
Yeah. That's Danielle.
I was
Danielle
gonna say,
Cruz
that's
that just said,
Danielle.
yeah.
Oh, is it?
I used to work for a company that was based in Phoenix, and they would not give any of the project managers credit cards. So if we needed materials, we had to do a phone sale at Home Depot. Well, certain times of the year, they're 2 hours behind us. So it's 10 o'clock before I can get materials, but it's me and 30 other project managers trying to call the one lady at the office that does that. So I would literally stand in Home Depot. It'd be like 1 p.m, and I'd have guys literally holding up a whole job for 1 2x4. And
That's the worst system ever.
we also weren't allowed to buy it. Like, I'm like, I'll just fucking buy it. It's $10, $6. No, that's not how we do things. It has to be through. Yeah,
That's a horrible system.
And then they're like, how come jobs aren't getting done on time? Let me tell you, I'm like the first ones, because like the CEO, I remember he had like a conference thing, like a Zoom call, and he was like wanting to, and I'm like, you know me, I'm going to be like, I'm going to tell you what the fuck's wrong. So the next thing you know, we all got credit cards. And because like we had crews in Florida and Georgia and stuff. It was 11 o'clock before they could get, could buy anything, because Arizona's the smartest state in the country when it comes to that. And they don't participate in stupid daylight savings time. Fucking hate it.
Now, look, I'm all for us getting rid of daylight savings time as a country. But it's very weird when one state's like, oh, we're going to live on our own time.
Yeah. Like Texas has been in the legislature every 2 years for the last probably 10. And I'm like, no, I don't want Texas to pass it along, because then when I go to Louisiana, it's going to be different. Or even Oklahoma. It'd be weird going north and the time changing.
So it was weird for me in high school. There was one place every year we had a band competition that we went to. We traveled to a band in Phoenix City, Alabama. Well, Phoenix City, Alabama is in the Central Time Zone.
Uh-huh.
Phoenix City, Alabama is in the Eastern Time Zone. It's the only city in Alabama that's in the Eastern Time Zone.
Really?
Because it's very close to Columbus, Georgia, and many of the people in Phoenix City work in Columbus, Georgia. So they kept them on the same time. So it was very odd having to change your watch when you're going to a band competition in your own state, where the time doesn't change anywhere else in your state, just that one city.
Well, go to El Paso. When you hit, I think it's around Van Horn, it changes to Mountain
Time. That's because this state is 6 states.
Yeah. It's like you're on I-10 when you're heading west and you're coming into like a mountain range and you can't see. It's like you're going up a mountain, but the road curves, and like you're in that curve at the top of the mountain and you're like, what did that sign just say? And yeah, it's the time change.
So you're on a mountain
Yeah.
in mountain time.
Yeah. Well, what do we call mountains? Oh, yeah. When you say it's close to Columbus, Georgia, it's like across the river.
Oh, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're on. That's why they're on the same time.
Yeah.
So if you're going to the Anaheim show, have you been to the Anaheim show as a customer?
I have not been to Anaheim as a customer yet.
That's the super show, right? Anaheim.
Yeah, that and the Pomona show are both super
That's right.
shows.
That's right. One of them is in an aircraft hangar, right? One of them is in like a long ass aircraft.
That's the Pomona. It's like at a fairgrounds. The Pomona one is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's massive.
I used to think I wanted to vend shows like that, but I don't.
Big ass shows.
Mm-mm.
The problem with big shows like that is you're not vending them unless you're certain people. You're not vending them to make money.
Right.
You're vending them to make connections.
Yeah.
And
Connections
try and
don't
pay
my bills.
and try and pay for the weekend.
Yeah.
But connections do pay your
They
bills.
do, but they don't pay the bills
immediately.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a you have to find a way to stick out at those shows. The one that does it the best is Garrett Hartle.
Yeah.
Garrett Hartle set up. I remember when we went to Tinley, he had a motorcycle.
Oh
decked
yeah,
out
I
with
remember
all the
this.
stuff on it. And then he has this faux, it's a big wooden wall with cages built into it, and all of his animals are in these it's like a zoo exhibit, like this big
Right.
wooden wall. And then he's got a big tall table in the middle with chairs with charging stations, so you just stop there. And
It was great because at that point my legs were killing me from walking around, so I just perched on the little stool and hung out for a little bit. And then
Garrett
once
is a marketing genius.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So those shows you've got to stick out. Like Rare Earth has that tree. He has this fake tree with cages built into it, with monitors and stuff in there. And so it's this amazing thing as he opens from the back and all the cages, and it's heated from the inside.
That's
and,
cool.
It's those kinds of things. But the smaller shows, some of the really small shows do well. Like we've gone to some really small ass shows, and you do killer at those.
Oh, like the McQueenie show.
Yeah.
It's like 25 vendors.
Shirts.
Yeah.
A show where you can literally just toss a baseball across the room.
I mean, I could literally yell to any vendor.
Yeah.
I would do it to yell. Hey, can you,
Yeah.
Even when it's packed. But it's nice because I'm the only one there with what I have.
Yeah.
And it's not overwhelming for the customer. I mean, I'm not talking down about the Herbst show. Let me be very clear on that.
We love the Herbst
completely
shows.
different.
It's a different thing.
It's two completely different things.
Just like Tinley and Daytona and Anaheim are not comparable to a Herbst show.
Right.
It's not the same thing. There's not. Those are to me. Those are destination shows.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying Conroe's not, but Conroe is the smallest destination show you're gonna find. It's not like that. And it's a lot closer. Like I like visiting Arlington. When we went, it was nice.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd want to vend Arlington.
I have no desire.
I'd kind of like to vend Tinley. I kind of somewhat vended Tinley the one time we went there because I was on someone's table. I would like to, if I had a big enough amount of stuff.
So like Arlington, last time I looked, there was at the last show there was 6 rack and cage builders there. I'm not gonna go up. I'm not gonna go compete with that.
Well, for me, I would need at least 4 or 5 litters of boas to feel like
Right.
going to one of those big shows, and they'd have to be 4 or 5 litters of different things.
One thing I've learned in 3.5 years of doing this every weekend is there's only so much money for the type of product that I sell coming through the front door.
Yes,
And I have to look at who's going to be there now, as to whether or not the show's even worth me doing anymore.
Yeah.
Because like I say all the time, this is how I feed my family. I don't do it because I enjoy it, even though I do enjoy it most of the time. Sometimes.
You know what show no one mentioned? Hamburg.
Yeah.
I want to go to Hamburg
Just so you can.
so bad.
just so we can see
So
the
you can
train
see-
wreck.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to see the flea market style reptile show that is
We would
Hamburg.
have to. I feel like we would need to burn our clothes when we left.
I'd
them.
bring nothing back with me. It would just, those mites are staying there. They're not coming back home
That's
with me.
in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes. Where there are no laws.
Yeah. I mean, it's close enough to Philly. You can go there and actually go have a good Philly cheesesteak.
That's true.
Of course, you don't eat them with onions or anything.
No.
good
I
on
know.
them.
I don't
With
wrong with it.
vegetables. It's gross. Who's eating vegetables? Fucking rabbits over here. Oh,
Did you just call me a rabbit? Bro, I eat like cooked tomatoes, cooked onions, and spinach.
I eat tomatoes in the form of ketchup
And pasta sauce.
and pasta sauce and pizza sauce and ketchup.
Like this weekend when we had those sulcatas and people were, paying to feed them. And they're like, how come they don't eat the white part? The base? And I was like, Well, I would assume it's like on a salad. Nobody wants to eat that, but I've never had a salad, so I wouldn't know. And one lady was like, that's true. I didn't think about that. Now that Burmese, that mountain tortoise,
yeah,
he didn't give a fuck. He ate the stem. He ate the brown part at the bottom that's all hard that goes in the part that's attached. He ate all that.
Those are Burmese brown or black?
Yeah. I just delivered it. I don't know.
I want a Burmese black mountain tortoise so bad. Okay,
I think it's a black.
Whoa.
It's pretty black. You asked if it was black or brown.
It's gonna get out of hand quickly. So
his name is Josh.
Josh.
Logan named him the other night.
Okay, so let's talk about vendors for a minute. So do you think that people tend to pass by vendors who have fewer things on their table versus vendors that are like overwhelmingly
yes and no
covered with things? I think it depends on what you're looking for.
Some people get overwhelmed with vendors that have a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Was it Bob Vu that had
a couple of years ago that he had put up a post about how he felt like some of the feedback he was getting is that it won't stay. I keep moving it over and it keeps going back. See, that he felt like people weren't, or I guess people were giving him feedback that they weren't coming up to his table because it just seemed like it was unapproachable because it was so nice and everything was, so in your face. There was so much there that it almost felt like people were like, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to afford any of that."
Oh, that makes sense.
And he has, scaled it back some. He's got a great setup. I love his setup. But I've noticed a couple of vendors that have these really high-end setups and nobody's going over to them because it's a little intimidating for a first time, especially a first time show. I think a couple of them that do it really well is David Eldon.
Well, yeah, that's
David's setup
he's on a different level.
Yeah, but his setup is it's big and it's flashy, but it's not too much and it attracts people to it. Like Asylum Exotics.
Yeah.
Brandon. Brandon's a marketing guy, but like the colors he uses and the shapes and everything, it's very inviting. It like makes you want to come over and look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can tell he put a lot of thought into it. It's one of my favorite. I love when Brandon's at a show because he's got one of the best setups and he's constantly like changing. Like he'll come in and be completely different.
Yeah.
But it's still awesome.
I like to keep it fairly simple on mine, but I don't have a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of flash. I know
we've walked by tables before and then we've gone back by them a second time. And then it's like, oh, I didn't even see this over here on this corner because they have so many different types of things.
Yeah.
When people start stacking deli cups, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like once you start stacking deli cups and you have people have to move things around, they're not going to move things around. So like Nathan says, he typically passes ball python tables and looks at others. I have gotten very good at putting blinders on to ball python tables. So that has caused me to miss some things because sometimes you have a ball python breeder who also has one litter or clutch of something else, right? And I saw the ball pythons, I keep walking. And so that happens too, just because you pass 50 tables of ball pythons, eventually you just become numb to it.
So you're saying most people that are going with something specific in mind.
I don't think most
they're going to look for.
No, I don't think most people at a show are going that way. But I think that people that are going to buy stuff, that are going there to buy stuff, are. But then there's a huge part of people that come to a reptile show that reptile shows are impulse buys. I mean, that is one giant place of impulse buys.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And they can be fine as long as the person selling them is proper about it. But I mean, when you get to some of those tables and an iguana is $20 or a baby Savannah monitor is $50. Those are impulse buy things, and they get them. So that's a problem. So it's just there's so many different types of people that come to a show, but definitely a cleaner table helps.
Yeah.
If you feel like it's cluttered, it's probably fucking cluttered.
Yeah.
And cut back.
Wash your tablecloths.
Wash tablecloths.
I've seen some dirty ass tablecloths on some tables, and it's like, you want to go be like, hey, wash your tablecloth,
or for someone. Get a tablecloth.
Yeah. Well, Sean generally doesn't allow people to set up without a tablecloth. And the good thing is there's always one of us that has it.
I've loaned tablecloths.
Yeah, me too. And I borrowed tablecloths. I got to it wasn't a herp show, but I got to a show and the tablecloths I had ordered for that show were not the right size. They sent me 6-footers and I ordered 8s. And luckily Laura from Laura STEM Creation, she had like 1 million tablecloths.
Yeah.
It was funny too, because I guess she had dried them with some of her kids' clothes because like I'm unfolding them and there's like a little kid underwear in it, and I'm like, I don't want people to see me.
This is not mine. I promise. I don't enjoy touching this.
Laura, come here.
Another great setup. And the Reddies said our setup is basically to benefit the animals more than the people. It works out nice. The Reddies have a great setup for what they have.
Yeah.
For chameleons, that is a great setup, especially since they're selling chameleons at the right size that they should be sold.
Yeah.
And so they look good in those cages. You just look over at our chameleon.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
Has he got his pajamas on yet?
No,
It's not,
the light doesn't go out till 10. And if the overhead light's on, then it won't. Like if we turn the overhead light off, he'll get in pajamas a lot
He's behind
quicker.
His
Big new light bulb should be here in like 2 days.
So speaking about chameleons,
Oh.
this has been a fun thing over the last couple of days. So I joined several Panther chameleon groups against what I was told by my
By
Panther
our
chameleon people, the Reddies.
Let me preface all of this by saying, yes, we may be new to Panther chameleons, but we are in no way, shape, or form new to being educated, new to being open-minded, new to
Just reptiles in
taking
general.
constructive criticism when it is truly constructive criticism and not hypocrisy.
So I joined several of them, and my simple first post was a picture of our chameleon in Katie's hand.
It's so pretty.
And a picture of my setup that I am very proud of the way it looks.
It's
I don't
gorgeous.
give a fuck what people say. That was all it was. And I said how I got it from Reddy's Rainforest, and I was very excited. And I love watching them walk around his enclosure. That was it. There was nothing controversial, or so you would think.
We didn't
in that.
ask for advice.
Not at all.
We didn't ask for opinion.
Nothing.
Don't really give a shit about either one of those, but whatever.
So then I began to be attacked over and over again, being told that I needed to get rid of these plastic plants because they will kill my lizard. And here are the reasons I was given. One, that they off gas under the heat light and UV lights. Okay, so here's my argument to that. A lot of these cages that these people are keeping chameleons in are partially PVC, which, by the way, is plastic. They're using zip ties to hold their branches together, which, by the way, is plastic. They're using a version to the ledges that we made, the mounts that we made for my cage. There is another company that makes those and sells them, which are made out of plastic. All of these things are inside their chameleon cages with the lights on. Those aren't causing damage. But my plastic plants
From Michael's.
those are off gassing and killing them. And not only will they off gas, then I have to worry about microplastics and the accumulation of microplastics in my animal. What? Look, I understand there's microplastics in the world in waterways and because of there's a difference between a Walmart bag breaking down outside in the woods versus my plastic plant inside of my chameleon's cage. They're not breaking down the same way. So I got told over and over again that I need to get rid of them and that was going to kill them. That
Look, just because you know science doesn't mean you get to talk to us that way.
And then their tongue would get caught in the fake plants and get stuck, and then they would end up losing their tongue because of that. That they would eat the fake plants, and that no reputable breeder would ever use fake plants, and I should get rid of them, even though a very reputable breeder that I bought them from uses fake plants and has for years with none of these issues, and so do many other reputable breeders with none of these issues. And so apparently in the chameleon community, there's like 3 people that are the moderators of the Panther groups, and they're the moderators of every one of them. And so I got attacked in every group where I posted these pictures for the same thing over and over again.
I think my favorite one was the one from yesterday where the woman was like, "You're not taking our constructive criticism at all, and you're refusing to change your ways." And you were like, "I didn't ask for anyone's opinion. I simply shared a picture of my new pet."
Look, well, and I tried to say over and over, look, there's more than one way to take care of reptiles. There's more than one way to do this. This has been done for years this way with no problem. It's fine.
Oh, I'm still in Chameleon Central.
Oh, you can find my post in there. So on several,
I'm going right now.
I think that may be the one where they had turned off comments. There was one where they deleted my post. And so I then went and put a long post about how I thought it was wrong for them to censor this. And they ended up causing an echo chamber. And that it was a very polite. And look, he
has been so diplomatic.
I have not cussed or yelled at anyone. I was very polite. They left it up there, but the great part about it was they left my post there and they commented, and then it got filled with people who agreed, who were like, yeah, this has been a problem with this group. People are afraid to post because of the way y'all attack them after they do this or that. And I'm like, this did not go the way they expected. So
she was the one.
They must have took your one down in Community Central.
That was the one.
They may have recently, yeah.
One last night.
I think that's the one where they told me, "Fuck you" today.
Oh yeah, that was the newest one.
One group he left a big long thing because I asked. I asked when they told me that all these plastic plants are horrible and they're killing animals. I said, "What about the people that have been doing this for forever and have no issues?" I was like, "Is that all imaginary?" And he gave me this big long post. He ended it with, "If you don't listen to us, then fuck you." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Okay." So,
if you are a chameleon person, we have a cool new chameleon group that you should go join.
Well, I was going to tell you, let's see. I was going to try and find some of the chameleon groups just
because I thought it personally, it would be great to have some of these very hypocritical people on the podcast.
Yeah, they're not coming on. So the guy that told me fuck you is Peter's PETR''S.
Yep, I found it.
Chameleon page. Peter's chameleon. Feel free to go talk to Peter at Peter's chameleon cage. If you don't agree with exactly how he tells you to keep your lizard, he's going to tell you fuck you. Actually, he told me either listen to us and be respectful, or with all respect, fuck off. That's what he said. My bad. That was what he said. He said it with all respect, though.
I said with all due respect. It's in the Geneva Conventions.
I don't, y'all. I can't handle a thief.
I'm laughing at reacting at everything that admin said to you to see if I can get kicked out.
Hypocrite.
They said that I opened a can of worms and I keep attacking group members. I was like, I have attacked nobody. I posted a picture of a lizard.
They are attacking you.
And so the chameleon. So yes,
Megan, this girl. You just joined this group 2 days ago and you were here to learn. No, bitch, I'm not.
No, I was here to share what I got.
We aren't trying to not help you. And the other OPS in this post are recommending real plans too. Please don't tell someone their vice isn't recommended when they're only trying to have your chameleon strive better. How about you just fuck right off?
Take a flying
Megan Marie Wright. You have fucking 3 first names.
That's how I know you're a piece of shit. You got never mind.
So Danielle said that she once had one of our listeners said that she once had someone yell at her over plastic plants for her retic because it would, and she quotes, keep the humidity too high and cause bacteria growth. First of all, I don't know how a plastic
that was another one over and over
humidity high. Like a real plant would keep humidity high, but a plastic plant, okay, that one's new for me.
Look, Drew, the guy who owns that page and runs it, he said, "Good job."
Yes, and left it at that.
Yeah, he was actually, that's how I found out about this group, because he was on Joe's podcast several years ago.
Gotcha.
And I listened to it and he's like, we don't allow all this bullshit and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'll join that group. Because I was thinking about getting a chameleon back then before I got smart. And
I suggest getting.
I don't know. I'm just going to say.
No. Now that I know Lee and Amanda and I've learned all this, I'm still not going to do it, but it's cool.
But so the bacteria thing, they told me that they will promote bacteria growth. And I was like, more than live plants with soil? I'm like, the plastic ones that I can wipe off and clean are gonna. I don't think they understand plastic.
They also have no idea how anal your wife is and how I am like freaking paranoid, because we've had very bad experiences with chameleons. This was 15 years ago before we knew any better, and we were sold chameleons that were way too small to have been sold to us. And I pretty sure I have PTSD over the loss.
Well, I love there was one comment was because I tagged the Reddies because that's where I got it from and I wanted people to know. And the person told me, after looking at their website, I wouldn't trust the person you got your chameleon from. I'm like, what?
But then when we reach out to them to find out,
they would not tell us why.
Even in a private message, they would not tell us why.
That was just their statement. I got told over and over again.
You're full of shit.
I got told over and over again that the breeders I got them from were not reputable and they're only in it for the money. And
what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, y'all don't. So, anyways, if you are looking for a good chameleon group to go join, this one I can promise.
Amanda Reddy has started her own group.
It is No Fear Chameleon Care.
Got it.
Join No Fear Chameleon Care.
We're gonna post it on the.
And if you post a picture and I don't like it, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep scrolling because that's what you fucking do as an adult. It's what you fucking do as an adult.
Joined. I'm number 20.
You got to answer some questions.
Well, let's see if they pop up. I think they know who I am when they see it, so they can approve me without answering the question.
Well, you still have to answer the
Why
questions.
do you want to join our group?
So I control James.
I'm gonna get these fingers ready.
So, but I was given heads up before I joined these groups as it happened, and I was like, I enjoy being a troll, and so I got into these groups. But again,
now I will say this though, for someone who does troll as much as he does, I've seen all the screenshots from everything because we have a group chat going,
and I was super calm.
He has been so beautifully spoken and well spoken. Like I really am wondering who else is editing. Like, he's got to have.
I didn't tell anybody to fuck off.
This stuff because there weren't typos or anything. It's beautiful.
Well, I knew they would attack me for anything, so I was very careful.
Yes.
So I was made sure not to yell, but apparently they felt attacked when I was like,
they did.
When I told them that there are more than one way to raise something.
No, there's not.
No, there's
my
only
way or the highway.
That was the thing. They're like, this is not just our way or the highway, basically. I'm like, but it is. You just said I have to do it your way or shut up.
It says, what species of chameleon do you want to own? So one of those with the funny names that I love listening to Lee say.
But that's what
I always get him to just start saying them all because I love
yeah.
listening to him saying because he says them like confidently.
Yeah.
Yes.
He knows how to say
He
them.
knows how to say it.
And I'm
But-
like trying to read it.
But
Like
you can't trust
Yeah.
him. According to the internet, you can't trust him
Yeah.
based on his website. So I've told Lee and Amanda they need to start a chameleon podcast, and they're afraid of the backlash because the way the community acts. But I'm telling you, I don't think
I'm already approved.
I don't think
Thanks, Lee and Amanda.
the way that those handful of people act represents the chameleon community. I think they're just the loudest ones. And I think there needs to be a positive voice out there. Someone else that goes, look, keep them the way you want. This is how you can do them.
I love this. The rules. No belittling of anyone's choice of care.
Yep.
No opinions if you can't back them.
Yeah.
Always ask why. No selling. Be kind of courteous. There's
And I'll be
no
honest.
hate speech or bullying. Oh.
So
Oh, you guys don't even know because I wasn't here last week. I got blocked from the lady that's running for mayor of Manville's page for asking her tough questions because her husband says I'm a bully. And then I ran into him in the dollar store the next day and was like, hey, buddy. And he like turned as white as a sheet and like ran out the store. And I'm like, I was just going to give you the opportunity to call me a bully in person, but
Oh
I'm
my
not. I'm like a
gosh.
super nice person normally.
So talking about the evidence, I asked for evidence of all the things. So here's the evidence I got for them for the microplastics and the off-gassing. They were all articles or studies done on things in the wild, breaking down outside under the sun, weathered in the wild.
And the UV that comes from the sun is not the UV coming from these light bulbs.
Yeah. So that was all that. There was one on how it affects reptiles and amphibians in the wild, not a 4x2x2 screen cage in my house. So there's no evidence there. The one for the tongue, they found one picture of a chameleon that got his tongue stuck on something and hadn't lost his tongue, which to me,
But they could literally get it
fucking
stuck in anything.
in anything. And the one main chameleon guy who makes those ledges, those perches like we made, could easily get their tongue stuck in that. And then they also told me
I just want to go comment on your post in here. You get rid of them fake plants.
and then the other thing, what was it? It was the eating the plants. The only evidence they have were of veiled chameleons doing it because their veiled chameleons are known for eating plants. But like, there's no evidence of panthers doing
Do
it.
panthers even eat plants?
No. And they're like, they could get impacted by this or choke on them. I'm like, well, then the fucking stupid ones die. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
They would probably flip their shit if they found out that I have a puppy pad on the bottom of his cage.
No, they're probably fine with that. That's probably okay. Because that plastic on the other side of that puppy pad is okay.
Oh my god,
But
it's great! I can
I'm
just
like,
roll it up. And throw
I
it in the
didn't sign up
trash.
to be a horticulturalist and take care of a lizard. I'm not fucking growing a garden inside of a cage.
I can't even keep freaking pothos alive. Okay, pothos is supposed to be one of the easiest things to keep
It
alive.
is the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally,
Have
my
you
yard
seen-
just keeps it
Have you
alive.
seen the dead pot on the porch?
I
Because
have,
that's
yeah.
what's
It's
happening.
just an empty pot now.
This is why I love little country sheriffs. The sheriff of that county, San Jacinto County, where that guy got caught at. It's like, got him. Sorry, scumbag piece of shit's in my jail now. I like it.
So, anyways, if anybody out there is thinking of getting a chameleon, please go join No Fear Chameleon Care and not the 40 other groups because apparently they have the same admins or moderators in all of them,
I guarantee you they do.
and they will all tell you how you're a horrible piece of shit for using plastic plants. And the problem was on one of them, they turned off commenting. And on there, several people been like, I keep plastic. They went back, erased all of those
They
comments.
deleted all the
That was,
comments that went against their narrative.
In the Chameleon Central just now, the only comment that they left up that was supportive of you was the main guys.
Yeah.
But it says there's like 78 comments, but you can only see like 10.
Yeah, because they went through and deleted everything
Mhm.
that agreed with me or disagreed with them.
Sounds like the lady that's running for mayor of Manville.
There was one guy, one of them that posted he used live plants with soil, and the animal like got impacted with soil, it eaten a bunch of dirt and got impacted with dirt. And I'm like, so we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to leave. Oh, okay, got it. So fuck them. I don't see that in boa groups or anything. Do you ever see that, Eric?
So-
Like, there's not a lot of drama.
No, not really. It seems more laid back, I guess.
I can say that there are groups out there that are very strict with those policies and will shut that shit down before you can blink your eyes. I'm part of a females only herpers group, and
That's sexist.
it is without a doubt one of the most positive places that I belong to.
I identify as a female
You
herper.
cannot join my group. This is for me. It is not for you.
I identify as a female herper.
My wife's in it.
Bad. But they like seriously, like if you, because there's like 6 admins, and I will say this every now and then when they need a break, they're like, hey, we're turning off the right to post for like a week. You know, and it's great. They give us a heads up ahead of time, but they will like straight up. Yeah, Danielle's one of the admins in that group.
Danielle, you can't tell me
They
how
are,
I feel.
It's
I have boobs.
beautiful though.
And I didn't even anybody
great.
wants to see, but I got them. No, I think it's great that they have that there is that space, because I see it all the time. I see it happen to Danielle all the time in some of our ID groups. She'll make an ID and inevitably some guy will be like, Danielle is correct. And it's like, oh, great. Didn't know we could be right without you telling us, sir.
I know.
Because I always fucking comment on those when I see guys do that. I'll be like, hey, aren't you glad that old Ricky told you that the man approved that your identification was correct? And usually that causes a shitstorm, but whatever.
Well,
I think that's why James and I are friends. 'Cause we just fucking, we both have a big shit stick and we like to spread it around.
I love it, especially when the person isn't right. Like that was the thing. Their whole argument was that I'm not right at all, and they are 100% right.
Megan and I were just messaging back and forth because earlier in the Talk of Manville, our little town page here, somebody posted a picture of a big rat snake in their yard, and like people are like, "Oh, it's got a flat head, it's safe," blah, whatever. One girl, she's like, "That's a huge broadband water snake," and I'm like, "No, it's not.
Not even close."
I'm like, I'm glad you didn't call it a copperhead or something, but it's not. It's a rat snake. Blah blah. I told her why, and she's like, "Whatever you say, Mr. Expert," and I'm like.
Yes.
I am more an expert than you are. Thank you so much.
I said, why do people get so butthurt whenever when they're flat ass wrong?
Well, and we talked about this.
Someone who actually knows what they're talking about very nicely it tries to educate them. I said, I guess it's just ego. People don't want to be told they're wrong. And then yeah.
I think it was with Ryan McVeigh when we had him on. People can't admit when they're wrong. People can't admit when they don't know something.
Well, that was like in all these groups. I wasn't disagreeing that live plants are great and that that's a great way to keep them, but it's not the only way to keep them. Look, I could put my boas in a cage that is 9 foot by 10 foot by 4 foot with branches, and I could totally do that, and that would be a great way to keep them. Or I can keep them in a 4 by 2 by 2, and that also still works and is a fine way to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the way you want, so don't keep your shit the way I keep mine. Right? So I don't. That's just that is the problem I have with this hobby is that. Look, there's only a minute amount of things that we can all agree that are wrong. All of us agree heat rocks are wrong. That's pretty much like the one thing we're all like, don't use heat rocks. After that, it's pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. Just don't kill shit. Like. Okay, if you got a bearded dragon, you need a UV light. That's not an option. That's you need a UV light. Like you can't just put a light bulb on it and be like you're good. But you can keep that bearded dragon in a 40 breeder. You can keep it in a bigger cage. You can keep it in outside in cage if you have do whatever the fuck you want. But I don't know. It just drove me nuts. And I just think about like Sambo groups. I don't see that issue. I stay out of most ball python groups, but I imagine they're a pain. I know that they're drama. Yeah. I mean, look, the fucking one. Eric's like, yes.
You know who else I've heard is a big issue? They're not reptiles, fish people.
It's because fish people have
I've
been
heard that
because
saltwater fish people are very intense.
they
and
are the
bird
same as
people.
they're the same as our bioactive people, but they
Yeah.
have fish. And so it's that same mentality. Whereas, like, yes, now with saltwater, there is definitely certain ways to do things for it to work well, but you don't have to have a giant setup for it to work. Like, there's, it's just if shit is staying alive and it's healthy, you're good. That's it. The whole goal is keep it alive and healthy. I will not subscribe to the if it's breeding, that means you're doing well. I won't subscribe to that because look, I fucking put 2 ball pythons together and paid no fucking attention to them, and they laid eggs. I didn't do anything right there. I didn't go out of my way.
Nothing.
I really didn't for a while. I just fucking left them in there. I was like, you're all living together, so I'm not going to feed you because you're all living together. And they fucking had eggs. And look, I said something the other day that I really hope these eggs hatch because I've seen a lot of fucking morons that have hatched ball pythons, and I can't let them do it and not me.
Well, dude, those were like pearly white, big eggs. You said
Full of veins.
They're
veins.
gorgeous.
Yeah, you're gonna have.
Already said a lot of saltwater people own chameleons. Imagine that. Oh, Jason Milanovich says he still has a heat rocker. I still have one heat rock somewhere just so I can show people. Don't buy this.
Oh, we cut the cord off of it.
Yeah, I think I did. I cut the cord off of it, so it can't accidentally be used by anybody. I don't know. It's just weird. You see different groups. Like I said, I know ball python groups are look. A fucking group kicked Justin Kabilka out. So
They did.
That's hilarious.
And I've seen someone tell him, maybe when you get more experience, you'll know what you're talking about when it comes to ball python genetics. And that was like, did Dad really just say that? Like, it's one of those when you read it, you're like, oh,
look, they've had their ball
turn
python.
on, like, follow comments because I want to see what's up.
They've had their ball python for 3 months. They're a fucking expert.
Yep.
And look, some of these chameleon people, I'm sure, have had chameleons for a decade or more, but that doesn't mean you're the only expert. So, anyways, that was how I spent my last 24 hours or so was just apparently upsetting people that own lizards inside of a little tiny cage. They really got upset. And someone's comment on there was, y'all seem so upset about this. Y'all should really start a group of chameleons not being kept in captivity because that really seems where y'all want this to go.
Yeah.
Oh, so anyways, that was the drama on there. Oh, on our so let's go look at some things that popped up on our Facebook group. By the way, this guy mentioned earlier on there, I was just playing around on our Facebook page and I found 5 posts that were marked as possible spam, and one was from like February. I had no idea they were there. That's why you'll see that there are several posts that just got posted in our Facebook discussion group that were from months ago.
Yeah, Nathan, you didn't have to get mad about it, brother.
Calm down, Nathan.
We weren't censoring you.
Calm down.
Were they all Nathan?
No.
Oh, okay.
And only one of the 5 was actually spam. Darren Watson says, who is buying heat rocks because they are still selling them?
I haven't seen a heat rock being sold.
Oh, they still sell them.
What?
You go to Petco.
I don't ever go to Petco.
You can still get one. No, but should be selling them. Hold on, I'm trying to get down to okay. So, I posted one this week. When we got to school, something was last Friday or whatever. Went to open the door, and there was a gray tree frog sitting on the door handle. I don't ever see gray tree frogs, but they're one of the coolest tree frogs to me. The bright yellow belly, and it's just really cool looking.
You didn't even see it at first.
No, it blended right in with the silver handle on the doorknob. So there's that. I shared a picture from the Zirkles. It was of male rhino rats like wrapped around each other.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like a braided ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fighting.
Oh, I had something I was going to post and I got wrapped up in stuff at school and I never did. A friend of mine who lives up in Tennessee, she made a post on her Facebook the other day. She was like, this is why you don't kill snakes. And it was a speckled king snake
Eating a copperhead.
That's
been around a long time.
But that's not the only reason you don't kill snakes.
Well,
Don't kill them because you don't fucking kill them.
Well, but she's been having some issues in the woods where they live by and things like that. And so this may actually be the same picture that's been floating around.
No, there's a lot of them because it
I don't
happens.
But she said, she was like, this is why we are, cautious of where we live. She was like, don't kill snakes. But it was really cool because she is petrified.
I always fucking hate I don't kill the good ones. What the fuck? What does that mean? What is the good ones? The ones that don't look at you wrong when you go past them. They don't flip you off when you go past them. Those are the good ones.
Oh, is that it?
Nathan posted something. It was neat. It was a swallowtail kite in Florida flying off with an iguana.
Yeah, I saw that. Good job.
It's like, way to go.
Native animal killing and invasive.
All right, so Victor posted this one, and it's not reptile related, but it was fucking hilarious. It was a guy like plowing a field or on a bulldozer or something, and it was a possum, and then a coyote comes by, and the coyote grabs the possum plays possum, and rolls over and plays dead. He's not moving, and the coyote stands there for a while, and then the coyote stands over it and just begins to piss on this possum, and the possum never moves. Just sits there and gets covered in coyote piss, and then the coyote just walks away.
Yep.
I'm like, that is the best playing dead, because I don't think I could do it. Someone starts to piss on me.
That must be a dog thing, because years ago I had a very, very good Labrador black lab that was a badass retriever, and he had never been on a sandhill crane hunt before. And we went on a sandhill crane hunt. You have to put goggles on them on sandhill hunt because they'll like poke their eye out.
Oh, really?
And one of the clients dropped a sandhill, and I sent him out to it, and he knows his bird. He picks it up and like turns around and looks at me and like drops it and starts coming back. So I send him again, and he picks it up and comes back about halfway and drops it again. And he's like, you could tell he didn't like the way it tasted or something. So I send him again. He picks it up, drops it, and pisses on it. And I'm like, well, I guess he told us what he fucking thinks about picking up sandhill cranes.
I love it. I couldn't help but laugh when I realized, because it took me a second to realize what this coyote was doing.
Yep.
And that possum never flinches.
Hell no, didn't want to get eaten.
I'm just like, he is just pissing away on him for a while.
He had already been in his already been in his mouth. So
they already said 3 people have joined the Facebook group since we mentioned it. And said, welcome to the anti-Thunderdome. Oh shit. I'm trying to figure out what else.
If your numbers get too high and you need moderators, let us know.
I always love when things are marked as violent or graphic, and I don't actually remember what I posted. This was the lion. Oh, this is the one with the lions. For some reason, 2 guys they were in that enclosure with the male and female lion, and then the male lion.
Where?
I don't know. I found it online. The male lion like looks at him and is like, "Fuck you," and starts to go like fucking like bite him and attack him, and so the other guy's trying to get him off, and then you see the female lion like walk over, and it just looks like she's like, baby, leave him alone. It's not worth it. Stop it. She's like nudging him and hitting him. Like, just stop. He didn't mean it. Stop it. And then finally, a guy gets away, but you can totally see the female's like trying to just stop the fight.
They're gonna shoot us. Stop.
Don't do that. Rare revered reptile on brink of extinction after losing last female. It was the giant Yangtze soft-shelled turtle. That's because they keep fucking eating shit over there.
Yeah, there's comments on the main post about that, well, go to the wet market and blah, blah, blah. They always have them there.
Yeah.
They're dead, but they have them.
If you stop eating them, they tend to live longer.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's several pictures. I posted a picture of our chameleon with his tail all curled up. I posted my amazing ball python clutch, $1 million clutch right there. It's going to be wonderful. Nathan posted why you should never get a croc monitor because those teeth are fucking horrifying.
Yeah, that was insane.
Oh, that is a scary lizard. I've worked with one before, and it's a scary lizard. You also shared one for snakes and adders. And if no one has a leopard gecko and you've never seen this, they eat their own shed, and it's hilarious because they'll reach back to where they can finally get it like on their shoulders, and then they'll eat it down their body like it's pasta. And they get to the tail, and you just watch them like just take the rest of it off the tip of their tail, and they've eaten their entire shed. So if you're wanting to send your leopard gecko sheds in to get tested, you probably won't. They've probably eaten them all. You probably can't get them. See what else got posted. The turtle thing I posted. Oh, someone had a litter of boas posted. That's crazy. Look at those. There's some really, really gray looking ones in there. Fucking gray boas.
It's probably that breeder's favorites.
Yeah, he probably loves those.
He's going to sell all those snakes now. The parents, everybody.
So this one got shared by these are from December. Shit. So these are 2 of the ones that popped up as spam. One was from Travis. It's the same one from Bryson Halford. And it's just a snake in a bicycle tire. Like they have a bicycle tire hanging up, and the snake's just moving through the bicycle tire. And so it keeps spinning. So it's basically a treadmill. It's turned into a snake treadmill.
Fabulous.
But it's been shared twice because it was on there. It was there twice. And then Nathan posted one about a Black Panther. Fuck you, Nathan. Black Panthers aren't real.
In the United States.
In the United States. And there's still not really anywhere else. There's black jaguars and there's black leopards. And that's it. That was it from there. So I was trying to save Eric from having to talk too much. I was told
that.
I was told I needed to help carry the conversation so he didn't have to talk too much. I was doing my part. He's an awesome awesome sponsor of our giveaways, and I didn't want that to go away, so I didn't want Eric to hate us. And then we're gonna hang out in Arlington when we all go get a house together.
Okay, let's go.
And we're customers
In
and not vendors.
September, is that what you said?
I don't know. It's whenever
You guys are the teachers around your schedule.
I mean, it's on a
It's only
weekend.
a 4-hour drive, so that we can do that in a weekend.
I could just hear Chris. Gross. You say a
4-hour
4-hour
drive. Yeah, Christine's like, y'all have to actually drive somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just went to Tennessee. I mean, he flew there, but he just went to Tennessee
Yep.
for.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. It's September 22nd and 24th.
So right after school. No, we start school in fucking August.
I was gonna say that's like a month into school.
God.
By then, I may need a Friday off, so I may use a day.
Last time we went was the February show or whatever it was. It was like snowing.
Yeah, it was snowing.
Oh, it did. It did snow
I
on us
mean,
in the parking lot.
It was snow
It was
flurries.
like,
flurries. We
hit
were
the car and
excited.
melted, but yes.
But I walked outside and I was like, what the fuck is that white stuff?
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
So I'm all for going. It'd be fun. What else you got going on? Anything else that you're besides you're gonna get bit by a bunch of bloods?
No. Working with water monitors. Well, one
Fuck
water
that.
monitor. Yeah.
How big is it?
He's about 5.5 feet right now.
Did you get a black dragon?
I should have, but we did not. No.
That's the thing now. Everybody wants to have a black dragon,
Yeah.
and not everybody needs to own a black dragon.
They are pretty cool looking.
They are. They're also a water monitor,
Yeah.
and they're not a gecko. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of lizard. And you'll see people are like, I got my first reptile. It's a black dragon. Well, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Is yours pretty tame?
Yeah, depending on the day. It got mad at me last week and flew out of the cage and bit me. But otherwise, yeah.
God,
Fuck that. No, I'm good.
no.
All the time, I'm like, there's certain monitors I'm like that'd be cool, and then I see like someone gets bit, like that's not cool. That's why I want Kimberly rock monitors. I'll take a bite from a Kimberly rock monitor. It'd be like those little annoying green dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, little tiny ones. That's what that would be like. They just nip at you. You're like, yeah, it's whatever. Because you can't force your water monitors in general. You can't force them to do anything, or else they'll hate you, right? Oh no, Eric froze.
We made it all.
Did he? I mean, it's hard to tell. He's so animated.
Bless him. Don't be mean. I know. I think we lost him.
No.
Sad day.
Oh well, maybe we'll get him back. So yeah, that's it for I pissed off a bunch of chameleon people. I have magic babies that I wouldn't expect. There's Eric. He's back. You froze.
Hey there?
Yes.
All right.
But I was saying, you can't really force your monitor to do anything, right? You kind of have to work on his schedule.
Yeah, you just work around him and he does whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just don't want to be around him on a bad day.
Yeah.
Especially full grown on a bad day. Because that's still a lot of
definitely.
lizard. How big of a cage do you have for him?
He has in a 6x3x2 from Focus Cubed, actually.
Those people suck. Those Focus Cube people. That's why I took this sign down and I don't have it on the wall.
Whatever.
I'm just kidding. That's not why. I'm lazy and I haven't hung it back. I've got to get that back up there. I love Focus Cube. I haven't seen them in forever.
If you're gonna get a cage for a monitor, they're the people to get it from for
Damn
sure.
straight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I build cages, and I'm saying go get one from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the so I saw the one they built for Kabilka? Did you see that one? Did you watch it?
It's the exact same
Same
one.
one?
Yeah.
That's an awesome
Nice.
cage with the wall they can climb up and the way
Yep.
there's a whole lot of thought that went into that, especially for monitors.
Yeah. Yeah. When they first made it for Justin, they sent us a couple pictures of it and we decided that was the way to go.
That's awesome.
Man, I don't want that. I don't want big lizard.
I'm glad because we're not getting it.
I just want. Well, now there's Pilbara, rock Pilbara. What are the ones that Corey had? I can't say the ones that Corey has. Corey seems to be getting new lizards every week. Oh, we didn't go back to Huff.
Oh, we didn't go back to Huff.
Yeah, he's got so if you don't know Seth Hoffpower,
He's been on here before.
he's been on the show before. He has probably the best reptile room I've ever been in.
Not anymore.
Well, now he's got a whole
Now it's
building,
different. Yeah.
like organized, everything's done.
Jeez, it is.
I mean, he does a great job. The way he raises up his bugs, the way, I mean, everything. It's probably how I expect Man and Lee's is as well. Probably very well. You know, everything has got its place. And apparently Alexander England's is like that as well, according to the vet that I talked to.
Yeah, he has to.
He said Alex's is like Cess, but with stuff that'll kill you.
Yeah, that's how any hot person should be. There should be super organized.
Yeah. But Seth just got a facility. I talked to him yesterday. I sent him a text yesterday morning and told him I was super happy.
It's big.
For him. And he said, it's like mine. It's like 20 minutes from the house if you don't go during rush hour. But if you go during rush hour, it's like 50 minutes like today.
Yeah.
But he's excited. It's a lot of work. You know, I didn't realize how many fucking animals he had.
Yeah. If anybody out there is looking for fat tail geckos, look up Huff's Herps.
They're gorgeous.
Some of the stuff he's making now is
beautiful.
Unbelievable that it even exists.
Yes.
Like the colors and, you know, he's several years into these projects and it is. And the great thing about Huff is he's like Lee and Amanda. You get lifetime support from him.
Yep. And fat tails are interesting. They're calmer than leopards.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets, they're kind of like bloods and ball pythons. Everybody seems to confuse the two. Like if you don't know, they're probably the same. But like fat tails aren't the same as
oh yeah.
leopards.
My students 100%. We have one of both in our classroom. They 100% prefer the fat tail because he just chills.
Yeah.
Like they take Clay out and he just sits. They'll put his pillow on the corner, you know, on the desk with him, and he just sits on the pillow and chills. Velma is going to be everywhere and finding what she can get into all the time.
I'm going to tell you, one of the worst bites I've ever had was from a freaking leopard gecko.
She's spastic.
Dude, that thing like bit me on the pinky, like between my fingers, and then like twisted and ripped it off.
I've never
they
had
have
that
sharp
happen.
ass little teeth.
I've never had that happen. We actually got her in Tinley.
Oh, we did get
there was a guy in Tinley I got to talking to him at the table and telling him I'd wanted a leopard gecko for my classroom for a while. And he basically found one on his table and was like, I'll take $25 for it as long as you put it in your classroom. And I was like,
sold.
That's awesome. So, I mean, she's just a regular old leopard gecko. Poor Seth. I text him all the time if like she starts to ovulate or something and gets swollen. I'm like, what's wrong with my leopard gecko? He's like, Katie, you're a girl. Think about it. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just paranoid.
I mean, I'm looking at Seth's morph market now. He's got some of these some of these AFTs that are $850.
They're gorgeous too.
But this thing
he's got some cool morphs.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. So if you need a fat tail, check out.
We got a guy.
Huff's Herps. If you need boas besides boring ass anery boas, go check out Colossal Constrictors because they're gonna have stuff way cooler than what I have.
They're gonna have some cool stuff too.
Because they're gonna have the stuff that I wanted to make and I didn't because mine is apparently het anery.
So this is cool. This new function on Morph Market where you can go look at someone's whole collection if they have it uploaded.
What is they have a new one that's locals? What is that? I don't.
So you can look at stuff that's local to you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's pretty neat.
Let's see.
Because that is one problem you see if people don't want to do shipping and some people want to be able to get stuff right then and there.
Jason Miloradovich said that his middle son brought home an awesome little tokay last weekend.
He named it Travis.
Did he really? Is that real?
I'm almost 99.9% sure it's Travis.
Please tell me that he named it after Travis Wyman.
I don't remember who he named it after, but I'm pretty sure it's Travis.
That would make my whole night.
Because it was said in our group chat with Travis, and I'm pretty sure I remember it being Travis.
I love that one of the things they've had on Morph Market now is a seller rate. I mean, a buyer rating.
Yeah.
Then you
can
go on
rate the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Have y'all sold anything on Morph Market, Eric?
Oh, yeah. That's where most of our stuff has been sold.
Yeah. And it's so much easier than going to set up at a show. That's for sure.
There's some Sri Lankan star tortoises.
You know, maybe that's one thing they should add is a dry goods section. They could add dry goods section on there for certain things.
Maybe.
Why? You would just go and get it from the people.
You'd say that about any of the animals too.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, go check out Huff's Herps on Morph Market. There's some really cool stuff on there.
Check out Colossal Constrictors.
There's a pair of young adult breeding project Aldabras
I'm
for
losing them.
$79,000.
I'm losing them both.
What? It's an interesting place. So go. He has a striped whiteout tangerine.
Yeah.
I love the whiteouts on African.
Of course, that's the one that's $1,400.
I know.
$1,400. I love the ones that are $1,400.
That's why we love them, because they're awesome looking.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Wait for it.
I'm really glad you don't have anything embarrassing pulled up, but they can't see that screen, can they? That's just weak.
People watch porn on their phone, not on computers anymore.
Such a
what
cool
barbarian
cool.
is watching it on their So yeah, check out. There we go. Look at that.
It's gorgeous. I love because and then you've got the.
Well, let's get that stripe because it's a fat tail. And they have that stripe.
See, the one that we got, I wanted to have a stripe, and our daughter did not like the stripes, so we didn't get the stripe.
Whoa.
How did it get so big on our screen?
I had to put it like this so I could get it to go back to normal.
Oh.
For some reason, it's got up. Anyways, he said it's Travis after Travis Wyman. So yeah, the Tokay. So I guess that's right. It's a Tokay. Tokays are assholes. Travis is that fits. That's fitting.
Whatever.
That's about right.
I mean, Travis may be a lot of things, but I've never thought Travis was an asshole.
Only to James.
You know what? Fuck Travis Wyman. Everybody thinks that he's a great person.
He was even nice to people that were like, "What do you know about genetics?" And one of them. War Booth wasn't quite as nice.
I do love Travis. We haven't had Travis on in a while.
Yeah,
he's been busy.
I need to go home and eat because I'm starving.
Me
My
too.
daughter fucked up.
I gotta go to the store and get lunch for tomorrow because I don't have lunch for tomorrow. What? I made that really big. They can't see. Yeah, thanks to everybody. I don't know what I did. All right, Eric. Thanks for coming on. It was
no
painless-ish for you.
Yeah.
We made you talk minimally. It was okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So if people want to get a hold of you or your other half, how would they do that?
Easiest is Instagram on Colossal Constrictors or on Facebook under Colossal Constrictors, or hit us up on Morph Market.
Colossal Constrictors.
Yeah.
You only have 3 ads up right now, though.
That's it right now.
Luckily for me, it's nothing I want, so I'm good. Although I see a ghost jungle. I've got some of those. I've got some fucking ghost jungles. God damn it.
If you need a rack, be sure to check out lsreptileracks.com.
If you need to get VivTech bulbs, use code GUMBO22. Save 15% on your VivTech bulbs or smart devices. Again, they have all the sensors. We're talking about the sensors. I need to get a little humidity sensor for my ball pythons, my eggs, because I'm a ball python breeder, and so I need that.
If you need rodents,
if you need rodents and you're in the San Antonio, Texas area, check out Lil's Shop of Horrors, LIL''S Shop of Horrors, but they do delivery on their insects, and they have a lot of feeder insects
in the Pearland, Texas area. Come out and see us at the Herp Show this weekend.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be recording episodes. Our plan right now is to not have a show next week, but to record some episodes at the Pearland Show, release those next week. So we may not talk to y'all next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks with somebody. I'll have somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a band concert.
Yeah, our daughter's middle school band. It's not that good. It's
not the School of Rock thing that was.
No, it's not the School of Rock thing. That's actually fun.
Yeah, I want to go to that next time.
Yeah, we'll get you the dates. But yeah, no, this is her middle school concert band.
She's playing the tuba.
Why'd you have to bring it up, Robert?
Because it's what I do.
I can tell you what she's not fucking playing. The goddamn trombone that I'm paying for.
Hey, too much.
Anyways. All right. Thanks everybody for listening, watching. Eric, hang out for a minute. Thanks for coming on. We'll be back at some point in the near future.
Oh, and if you don't have anything else to do tomorrow night at 7. Herpcast.
The Herpcast.
The Herpcast, Rachel and I'll be on. We'll actually be right here.
Check out. You can go to Herp's Reptile Shows on Facebook. That's where the link for it will be.
Yep.
And you can watch. It'll be Rachel and Robert talking with Sean Gray and Lori of Herps.
Yep.
So
I get to do this all over again for 2 hours.
All over again tomorrow.
Maybe I'll find something to make for dinner for you.
Okay.
Sold.
Deal.
So check them out tomorrow night. We'll be back at some point. Good night, everybody.